What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, a show on the internet where we watch all the latest and greatest streaming stuff with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going really good because we've finished this will be the final part of the Justice for Justice League Streamcast, which I am excited for because unlike you, who just watched the movie 6 times back to back, which... Damn, son, because that's not a bit. He really did that. I left it a solid week and a half before watching it again. It's still good. It's still as good as I thought. Yeah, it's not just the hype. So I freaking love this movie. I'm so glad we got to do this.
I'm glad we got to do this as well because for those of you guys that don't know, because this is going up on the 4 Pillars Network, we have been big DC fans for a very, very long time. And we suffered through all of the crap, all of the criticisms that everyone has ever had. All the stuff that James says for a joke, but actually, he does actually, because he's an idiot, he does believe that stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, he does.
We suffered through all of that stuff. And imagine being beaten over the head for years on end and then getting this sweet justice.
The thing is, we were saying...
at the end of it all. Just imagine that.
Absolutely. We were saying that because we love DC. Yeah. In a way that a lot of people are they say they love it, but they don't really. Yeah. Not like the way we did. And it wasn't that we were saying we weren't saying we love it more when you love it the way we do. It's that we love it sadder when it doesn't perform. Right?
Yeah.
And people were ragging on the Justice League.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And so did we, but we were hurt. Everybody else saw a crap movie that could have been good. We were really hurt by it because we have a real strong connection with these characters. We love them so much, and so much was wrong about it. Like it was 5 movies too early and all that stuff, which some of those things this can't fix. Can't fix the fact that Flash doesn't have 2 movies, Cyborg doesn't have 2 movies, Aquaman didn't have 2 movies, Batman had no movies. Yeah. Right? But it fixes a lot, and damn is it good.
So good.
So good.
And I love that I can now wear this t-shirt. We released the Snyder Cut t-shirt right here that I have especially for this because we here are part of this movement. We have been for many, many years. And we can wear it proudly now. It's so great to feel. It's so great to feel.
We were saying, and on record, like there's video of it, we were saying release the Snyder Cut like 2 years before it was a meme. Yeah. Like once the movie came out, we were like, this isn't the movie it was supposed to be. It's very clear that it's not. No, that's not true. Batman vs Superman Extended Edition, we watched that, and then we were like,
it has to be a proper cut of this.
Yeah. We've been saying it for a long time. So we were right. Frick you, James. No, this is their pen. Get fucked.
James, yeah, exactly. We can say whatever we want over here. James, I love it because he's sticking to the guns. I love that he's sticking to the guns because
he loved it.
It makes it so much better. It makes it so much funnier and highlights how any point he has now completely thrown out the window. It's like, but he's the guy that said that Justice League was terrible. I mean, how can you really trust him? Anyway, guys, this is part 2 of our Zack Snyder's Justice League review right here. Spoilercast filled with spoilers. You guys can catch up on the first episode by checking this channel. You can go to podcast services. We're on podcast services around the world right now. And if you love what we do here, if you love everything that you see, if you want to support us a little bit more, totally optional. But if you do, you can head over to patreon.com/conversations where a ton of people do support us already.
They do, 40 plus or something.
Exactly.
Also, we're streaming on Twitch.
We are streaming on Twitch.
We just became affiliated, so you could go over there and enjoy it for free, or you could subscribe and support us. It's totally up to you.
Exactly.
But talking of the people that support us,
yes,
our content on both of our channels and here with the flagship show on the FPN is made possible by the incredible Super Bros over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol Tavrivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan, The Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville, Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albus Corey, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a clone of Eddie, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Raj Vandalin, chilling. He's got a plan, guys. You just got to follow him on one last job. And the filthy FIFA fanatic, Joe McCormack. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on. And the streaming service is going here at Streamcast.
That's right. I love that you pick that last name and it comes after a lot of other tongue twisters. You chose to put that there, and a solid coin flip, 50-50. It messes you up, like really trips you up.
Each time it's like, is this going to be, who knows? It could happen each time.
And then sometimes you go for the one breath at the last four names. And
I quickly gave up on that. I was like, my lung capacity. I mean, I'm not even a smoker and I just can't handle that.
Right. Talking, because that's a good segue into it. Smoking leads effortlessly into digging up a corpse.
Yes. That's in fact, let's get it kicking off with exactly. That's how part 5 starts.
Yeah.
And that's where we kick it off with our review right here.
Yeah.
It starts off with Cyborg and Flash digging up a corpse. Yeah. They're digging up Superman's body.
Digging a grave. Exhuming him is the word.
Exactly. And Flash says, you know I could do this in a nanosecond, right?
I think he says we could do this in a nanosecond because Cyborg's pretty quick as well.
That bit doesn't matter, to be honest. But it's like, no, I could do this in a nanosecond, right? And Cyborg's like,
we could. So this again.
And I love they both just take a pause. They look at the grave. Yeah, okay. It's not right. It's not right. Let's give it its time.
I love that. First of all, it's Flash that brings us up.
Yeah.
And it's Cyborg that kind of shoots it down.
Yeah.
Because, again, reminding us that Vic still has his soul.
Yes.
Right? It's not right to do that. Who this is, what we're about to do, like the man deserves respect.
Yes.
This is a person, this is a human being.
Exactly.
Even though he's totally not, but it is, right?
Inside, yeah.
Yeah, this is a man with a legacy, and we're about to do something that's never been done before. Like, it's a sign of respect. It proves that Vic's soul's still there.
Yeah. It's very rude to disturb someone who's passed on, who's moved on. It's like, just leave them to rest, for God's sake, even though there's no feeling left in a person.
Yes.
And then Flash also says, he also looks at the headstone and he goes, he's my hero, you know.
Yeah. It's very sweet. This scene's done really interestingly because it does a few things. Vic has his soul on show again. Like, we could do it, but it's not right. And that's a very human thing, despite the fact that he's like 98% machine. Yeah. Over by the van is Arthur and Diana.
Yeah.
And they're kind of bonding in a weird way, which is that Diana has all this history, but Arthur doesn't know his people in the way that she does.
Yeah.
But they also know enough to like share a common expression.
Yeah, they say that, so they're like, they chat about how much Amazonians and Atlanteans hate each other, and Arthur's like, well, I'm only half Atlantean, and I hate my half as much as you hate them and whatnot. But Diana's like, hate is useless. And it's getting to the idea that she doesn't actually hate, and that he doesn't actually hate Amazonians. So maybe there's something common there.
It's the start of a thread to be pulled for peace between Atlantis and the Amazons, which would be, or Themyscira, I guess, which would be cool.
And they say, Aquaman, Arthur, says, you know, my father used to say something. He goes, none are taken back from the darkness, and then both complete the sentence together, not without giving one up in return.
Yeah, and she says, we say the same thing, who knew our people were so similar. Because that is the big thing about this whole movie, is this, like, the only word for it is unity, right?
Yes.
Which is that it's not just the group all coming together. They represent different parts of humanity. They represent different parts of, like, the human experience and stuff like that. And it's very much a one people having to come together to fight a common enemy, which is how Earth defeated Darkseid in the first place.
Yeah.
It's kind of this underlying message. And then there is the perfect use of comedic timing.
Yes.
Because we're in the scene is shot very dark. We're using unusual shots, because these are scenes that should be close-ups, but they're full body. There's a distance. We're standoffish because we're exhuming Superman's corpse.
As you can tell, Sheps loves a lot of like cinematography and stuff like that.
I dig storytelling.
Yeah,
right?
it's good. It's good. Not
and part of it's the visuals, right?
Okay.
So it's an unusual shot. It's lit darkly. We're at night. We're digging up a corpse,
and then
Flash says to Vic, "Hey, do you think Wonder Woman would ever date a younger guy?"
He's like, "She's 5,000 years old, Barry. Everyone's a younger guy."
And it's perfect, right? It's perfect because it's not hilarious. It's not like, the whole cinema would burst out laughing, wetting themselves.
It's like,
but it is a nice break to that tension of, oh my God, they're digging up a corpse, and not any corpse, Superman's right. It's perfectly done. I really appreciate this scene. It's very good.
Then we cut back to the Wayne Enterprise of Avionics, wherever they are, wherever this troop carrier thing is here. And Alfred is working on the troop carrier.
As your typical Alfred.
A typical Alfred. He's a known aerospace engineer as well as a butler.
Also, luckily, every problem on this brand new troop carrier can be fixed with changing like a freaking oil filter or something.
And all in the same spot as well. It's just in this one hull bit underneath. They just take this panel off and everything's accessible from here. Right. But everything goes terrible. Fire breaks out. It pulls out the fire extinguisher. And then Bruce down from the bottom is like, everything okay up there, Alfred? It's like, if you mean by going horribly wrong, yes. Then yes, that's what we're going right there. But anyway, Bruce lays out the plan. And Alfred... at this point, Alfred comes down.
I like this scene a lot.
Very, very good.
It's very Alfred.
The way that he does it as well. Like, Alfred comes down from the troop carrier, and he after saying, like, it's not gone well. And he says, like, Master Wayne, you did it.
That's the thing. He's trying to talk Bruce out of this. Whatever this is, it's not natural, and he's very afraid of it, right?
Exactly.
And if they get the body reanimated and it isn't Clark inside, fucked. Yeah, that's it. The whole issues. Big problem, right?
And Clark, Alfred is a smart guy. You can see that a mile off.
He doesn't try and talk him out of it. He tries to make him think he's already achieved the goal.
He's already achieved it. How good is that? He's like, Master Wade, you did it.
You did it.
You brought the team together. Yeah. You said you did what you said you would do, what you promised. You fulfilled your promise.
Yeah.
But to do this,
right?
Your grief is outweighing your reason.
I love
trying to get through to him. It's like, you're going too far now.
I love the way Alfred goes about this.
And then he says the line of the part 5, which is all the king's horses. Not all the king's horses and all the king's men. Alfred, for once I'm operating strictly on faith.
Not on reason.
Not on reason. A fantastic moment, because all of those people that were saying in Batman vs Superman, it's like, this isn't Batman. This is the point of him becoming the Batman that you know again.
The point is Superman saves. The point is Superman saves, and in my opinion, this gets back to all that religious iconography that we get with Clark. Mm-hmm. Like in Man of Steel, he goes to the church, and behind him is Jesus. There's a lot of Jesus iconography with
even one time in this, after he gets his suit and he goes into the sky and whatnot. But that's very minor.
Very minor. But in this case, what is Bruce now operating on? Faith. What is Superman? Functionally a god, right? And I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I think it's humanizing for Bruce.
That's the thing. I that was the most that I took away from it, is Bruce becoming Batman again, becoming this is what he does. He doesn't operate. It's not like a crusade. It's not anything like that. It's I'm operating on faith, on what I believe is my gut reaction to do the right thing.
Because up to this point, and even in this movie, he's so close to either the Nightmare Universe, or I forget what it is when he kills everyone. Which one's that dark universe? It's got a name, that timeline where he just goes like, well, kills Clark, kills one, he kills all of them.
Oh yeah, he kills the whole Justice League.
I forget what that's called. There is a name for that timeline, I believe. Or it's either that or the Nightmare Verse, where he's also back to killing people and trying to kill Superman and defeat Darkseid.
Fricked up.
Right. He's this close that the whole time.
Yeah.
And we're hoping this timeline is not going to go that way. And why is that? Because the Superman saving Bruce, so he becomes the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight, where he's back to being Batman, like the savior and the leader of the Justice, or he's kind of like the shadow leader of Superman's the face, Batman's that's how I always took it.
Superman's up there, but definitely Batman is there. He just doesn't want to take the mantle. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to be the face man of
it. We cut to Silas Stone, and he gets discharged from quarantine after so long of being tested. Everything's all clean. We even did a sweep of the lab. Everything's fine. There's no alien microbes whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're completely fine to go. No problem. Let's go over there.
That's definitely not a line in the movie. No problem. Let's go over there.
Let's go back over there. That's what they say, guys. Go back and rewind it.
I love the way you insert that yourself, because you're like, it's your time saver while you find the next bit of your notes.
Exactly. I'm glad you found that, because I thought I was fooling everybody with that. Then we cut back to the team. They smuggle Clark. Sorry, they put Clark back into the back of the van, and then they try to, in the very next scene, this is the scene where they smuggle Clark into the Kryptonian ship.
There's one thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
his coffin, his casket. How simple it is, because it's Clark Kent from Smallville, Kansas, that's buried. Exactly. That's inside of it. It's not Superman, the hero that got that huge parade.
They had one for Superman, but it was an empty casket, and it was a piano black with an
fine
S
mahogany.
On it. It was the best thing ever. But
inlaid
that's not
silver. And,
but that's not Clark Kent.
Yeah,
just the simple wood finish. Done.
It's stupid, probably to a lot of people, but I really appreciate all those touches that we have Clark here.
It's things that a lot of people won't notice and won't pick up on, but if it was different, you'd notice.
Yes,
and that's the issue right there. Anyway, cut to the very next scene. They're trying to smuggle Clark into the Kryptonian ship. Very, very funny bit at the beginning where it's like Barry Allen's just putting on hats. Like, okay, so I need your opinion to Arthur. He's like, which hat do you prefer? Option A. Aquaman's no. Definitely not option A. Definitely not option A. Or option B.
Show me A again. Mate,
that little pause and just like, show me A again.
As an Aquaman fan, and as a Jason Momoa fan, I feel like this Aquaman is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And we get the perfect mix of Aquaman, of Arthur Curry, of comedic timing, and of badassery, where in the Justice League he was kind of just a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
Especially that scene with the frickin' lasso. He was just a joke.
And confessing all his feelings and things like that.
Don't get me wrong, it was kind of okay because I'm a Jason Momoa saves the scene, but it doesn't really fit as Fat Thor.
Yeah.
You know? I love him in this. I think every scene's delivered so perfectly.
He's good. Anyway, they say, all right, Wonder Woman gets out. It's like, okay, it's time for us. Everyone get dressed.
Yeah.
And Cyborg comes out. It's like, I'm always dressed.
That's so sick. So sick. I'm always dressed. I mean, I want to say, so with that and his final thing at the very end, Cyborg has a huge arc in this movie. It's a long movie, but it goes from being like this sad, broken little boy to like fully accepting himself. And I think this is his first point where he does that.
I agree.
Or like the turning point is where he buries the mother box in his own grave.
Yeah.
And overcoming that, digging it back up and bringing it to the Justice League is his first steps.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm always dressed is more accepting of who he is.
Yeah.
And by the end, with his incredible line, which we'll get to when we get there, I thought was incredible. I just love that Victor Stone is back and Cyborg is his secret identity in a way, if that makes sense.
I get you.
Anyway, they get in the truck, go to Star Labs.
Yes, there is one really cool Batman shot right here where he's watching from the top of like a skyscraper on like a construction site almost. Very, very Batman, his cape in the wind, Dark Knight-esque. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
That and when they go and meet Gordon.
Yes, two amazing shots. Best Batman shots I'd say ever.
So good. Best cinematic Batman by far. So good, so Batman, so perfect. Just everything we know from the comics, everything we know from the cartoon, everything we know from the games. That's
something of any director for a Batman movie is dreaming of doing, because they're like, I just want to direct this movie so I can do an epic Batman shot,
right?
Because that's fucking cool right there.
It's so good.
Anyway, they get to the front gate. Barry goes, is being fucking just typical Barry. He's like, ID? ID. Hands over. Victor hacks the computer to give him the correct credentials to go through. And once they get inside, Batman says, get everybody out of here, Cyborg. And he triggers.
He zips down, which we need the common use of.
Where did you zip down from?
There are a few of those, actually.
That's how Batman operates, actually, because he also does the thing where he like...
It's the same as Spider-Man. You know how Spider-Man can
into
flip
anything
off and it's a cloud. It's like a strong breeze and it'll catch it. You know, he can just... Same mechanics for Batman.
For that. Yeah. And Cyborg triggers a biohazard alarm, which is perfect because 5 minutes ago, Silas got let out of quarantine because they just scanned the whole lab and there's nothing in there and whatnot.
So the fact that it's his dad,
yes,
I don't mind, because it's like Silas, it's like, oh, of course it would be you, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of tropey, except that, hold on, we have just swept the whole lab, and who is this guy? He's the guy that set up all the protocols.
Yeah.
Doesn't this seem odd? So everybody's like, we have to leave.
He's trying to tell everyone, it must be a false alarm. Think about it. We just had everything swept and it must be a false alarm. But everyone else is like, what are we going to do? Just stay here? I guess we have to leave. And they sort of ignore him and whatnot.
I think it's also more telling that they're kind of not sheep in the most negative way, but they're following the protocol, and he's the guy that writes the protocols, and he's more of a free thinker a bit. He also stole a mother box once, revived his son with it,
Yeah, he doesn't follow the guidelines.
So he wants to be sure and goes and I want to say he kind of hacks in. He does some very weird stuff on the keypad.
He does things on keypads and screens that we don't know what. And he manages to lift the alarm, and it's like, aha. And
well, not quite lift it, but he clocks that the alarm's fake somehow.
Yeah, he stops it and it says it's secure, but somehow he clocks it. He gets on his walkie-talkie and he tells everybody, it's like, it's a false alarm. Somebody's hacked the system. If we just need to get everyone... And that's when
the whole Justice League,
Victor right at the front there walking through, doesn't say anything to his father.
And you get over the radio. Sorry, I didn't copy that, Silas, or whatever.
Sorry, I was wrong.
The alarm's legit.
The alarm's legit. Get everybody out, every single person out. And just as he's about to walk by, he doesn't say anything again, but Victor does turn around.
Just kind of nods.
And gives him like a...
I think this is huge, actually. Like, it's this moment of almost silence. The fact that they don't speak, but the second he sees Victor, he backs him no matter what. Yeah, he's like, oh, that's Victor? I don't know
Didn't
about
ask
you.
any questions.
So he can see, and he knows the group because they saved him a minute ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's looking at any one of them. I think he's looking at Vic. Vic's here. He immediately goes, well, how did they get in? This alarm's to do with Vic, and just backs his son.
Yeah.
And he backs him. He's like, no, the alarm's legit. Everybody needs to clear out. No one comes in until I say so.
Yes.
I love that scene. I thought it was really great.
It was very good. And it's especially funny because he's bringing in a corpse, essentially. It's a casket. And then doesn't ask question. Don't bat an eyelid.
It's an alien macro is what it is.
Oh, so this is the alarm that got triggered. Got it, guys. I got it. Anyway, they're wheeling Clark through the Kryptonian ship, getting to the correct chamber. And as they're going through the ship, the closet doors
knows he's here.
That holds many of Clark's suits open up and come forward as if he's walking through.
I got chills both times when Barry says it knows he's here.
Oh, it's like he knows it. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Also, some of those suits look sick. There's an armor plated one.
I secretly love all the suits, especially from like Man of Steel. When Russell Crowe got his one on Krypton, I was like, that'd be sick. Oh my God. It looks like it's made of ivory almost. It's great. It's fucking cool.
We cut, as far as I can tell from here, it cuts to Lois in bed.
There's only one little thing they do in between where like they get up to the pool area where they're going to put Clark in and they go, Cyborg says, this is amazing. And Aquaman's like, this is crazy. And Barry's like, oh, now it's crazy?
Right, yeah.
Like, before all these ideas we had, this is crazy.
Right.
All right, cool, no problem. And then we cut to Lois.
It cuts to Lois in bed. There's a few cuts backwards and forwards here back to Lois because like she's literally Superman's other half.
Yeah.
Like literally in a way, well, I should say Clark's, in a way that a lot of people don't appreciate. And I would go as far as to say Lois saves the world in this moment.
Yeah.
Or in this scene because
she's the key.
She is the key. She do be the key.
Get it? What's going on?
So she's like in bed.
She wakes up with her hand out.
She's still
There's
like
no one there.
Yeah. It really touched me. And then she like gets up.
She sees Clark's photo on the side of her and Clark. There's the touching Man of Steel the music in the background.
Yeah.
And
it's quite.
She almost, after the conversation she had with Martha.
Definitely Martha.
She sort of gets that feeling
Martian
again.
Martha Hunter.
That's a good one. At least it's loads of M's. And she gets that feeling. She's like, I think I'm going to do something today.
She kind of decides that. I took it that seeing Clark's picture and having had Martha tell her to come back to the land of the living, that like what Superman continues. Superman carries on and saves stuff, and that's his legacy. And for her to be here, not doing what the world needs, not doing her bit, is like part of forgetting Clark.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then so she wakes up, opens the thing, gets her ID. Is it her ID? Because she pulls something out and then goes to the bathroom. It's weird.
It's her ID tag. That's what it is on top there. But underneath,
just some regular stuff, normal stuff.
Regular stuff that every woman has in her drawer. Course, just a couple of like loose change, stuff like that.
Also the pregnancy test.
Huge, bright pink pregnancy test.
A lot of people didn't clock that, by the way.
I know, and that was the first thing I noticed. I was like...
Yes, indeed. I was fully there with you.
That took me 10 seconds to be like, whoa, what's going on?
I paused the movie. I was like,
hold up.
Wait. I was like, Snyder, I know you're doing this whole thing, but you're confirming breeding. You're confirming that Kryptonians and humans... I was angry from that moment, by the way, because I'd gone through all of this and gone to the end, and then I got to the point eventually where I was like, we're not going to get any more in this universe. Well, then why the fuck are you doing this to us? There's two things at the end. Bruce has something to Clark at the very end, which I think is confirming that. And I have a theory. We'll get to that. I also have a theory.
We'll get to those then when we bring that all up. Hopefully remember that. Anyway. As she opens her nightstand, she takes her ID tag and goes on her way. Yes. They place, go back to the Kryptonian ship, and they place Clark's body in the orange goo water, amniotic fluid, whatever this is.
Yeah, I don't get, for someone that like reads into everything, I do not get the Jonathan picture sinking in the water bit, which we get a lot. That is not by mistake.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't see the reason for it.
I don't see the reason for that either. I don't know. It was nice that it was the picture that was with him in the casket because it's his father, but why sinking down? I don't know what that was trying to signify, but there we go. Yeah. They put him in there, and the Jonathan's picture that he was buried with as well goes in there, and Cyborg jacks into the computer with his like palm thing and whatnot.
Yeah, his hand makes the exact right shape, sticks it in.
And he works out that the ship is massively damaged. He can't repair all the damage to create an electrical charge big enough to power the mother box. What Luthor did in the last movie has irreparably damaged it and whatnot. But Barry goes along, it's like, maybe I can do it. I think I can. Sometimes when I go close to the speed of light, the world gets really weird.
He says, I don't like to break this rule.
Exactly.
But when I get close to the speed of light... Mm-hmm. I build an enormous electrical charge. Time gets a little funky, but I think I can do it. And it's like, if that's what we still want to do. I love Bruce or Batman is like, Maybe it's like, maybe this is a mistake. No,
we still want to do this. We still want to do this.
Choppy. We do cut back to Lois.
It goes back and forth a little bit. She goes to the coffee shop at one point as well.
I took this to be the last time, by the way.
Yes.
It's one last time. This is her. And how sad is this? She's just finally not got over the loss of Clark, but it comes back. Right. Ow.
It's like
pain.
Perfect timing right there. It's like I've had to muster all the emotion that I can to put away the love of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, and now barricade it all. And then, bring it up and bring it back. Come all back right now. It must be fucking emotional.
Rough.
Yeah. So she goes to the coffee shop, and for like the last time, she goes over. By the way,
she gets her 2 coffees.
The police officer in the thing, I didn't mention this in the first one. The police officer in the square played Jimmy Olsen in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
I thought he looked familiar.
There you go. That's him right there. And he's like, one more coffee for him. And she goes, you're back again, Miss Lane. And it's like, just one last time.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be last time. Ouch. She goes over there.
Ouch.
She has more of a hopeful look on her this time where she's looking out to the memorial.
It's instead of this place being somewhere she needs to return to because it's the last thing she has of Clark, it's a monument to his legacy, which lives inside of her, literally because she's pregnant.
Yes. Well, we don't spoilers. We don't know. Yeah. So you're spoiling the next movie.
But this answers a very important question: Can a human being survive a Kryptonian cum shot?
Especially when it comes out like a bullet from a gun, right?
And apparently, yes.
Yeah, apparently, yes. So you have to be the key. That's what you have to be.
That's
exactly it. Anyway,
back to the
come back to the Kryptonian ship. Exactly. Barry's gone far enough back. He's all the way at the engine. He's like, I'm ready now. You guys count me down and we're ready to go.
Vic starts saying some really interesting stuff here.
Exactly. He's got his hand in the machine now. He's trying to get the other bot things to drop the mother box at the perfect moment so they can charge the cube and bring back Superman. And as he's doing it, it's like, the ship is telling me that this is wrong.
It sees the mother box as a threat.
Yeah, sees the mother box as a threat. And all while they're doing this whole scene right now, they're counting down. They're like, we're preparing for the drop. It's counting down 5, 4, 3. The ship says
this action is irreversible.
In between, it's like, this action is irreversible.
Like
this
when it was trying to stop Lex doing the Doomsday thing.
But seems like more.
Way more.
And it's in that monotone as well, where it's like, it's a robot in the day, so it's only got one voice and whatnot. But it's almost afraid of what the hell is happening.
Well, also because a lot of people don't seem to get this. Lex doesn't contact Steppenwolf. He sees the ship shows him Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's speaking to Steppenwolf. The ship educates him about Steppenwolf and the mother boxes, which means Kryptonians are well aware. Obviously, because Darkseid is aware of, and Steppenwolf are aware that Kryptonians can be a very dangerous species. So, like, the ship knows, and the ship knows that this is one of the things that calls these guys. Like, it's cool. You have to read a bit between the lines, but it's very cool.
It's super, super scary. Just the way it's constantly
the ship speaks as well.
Constantly, it's like,
this is irreversible.
I've already overrided your command. I've already said I'm going to go ahead with this. The ship won't give up. The ship's like, this action is irreversible. This ship will set path a course of time that's irreversible. So, it puts up more of a fight than when Lex made Doomsday. Exactly.
All it says is the High Court of Krypton has forbidden this. Where are they now? Dead. Well, then continue. All right.
Okay. No problem.
But this is like, nah, bruv, for real.
You really don't want to do this one.
This is rough.
This is. I'm normally chill. This.
Right.
Anyway, they count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In between, telling her not to do it, and just as it's about to get to go, Cyborg gets a glimpse of the future.
The vision,
sees and whatnot. He sees the whole Earth be scorched by an explosion.
Wonder Woman on the pyre.
Wonder Woman's funeral, like a Roman funeral, almost like with the things on the eyes. And
or like an ancient Greek funeral.
Ancient Greek, so right there, sorry, like that. Anyway, her mother crying as well at her funeral. You see the Darkseid ships as well over the top. It's really bad.
Darkseid underwater.
Darkseid actually comes. He goes underwater. He kills Arthur Curry. That's actually Arthur Curry that he kills. He uses his Omega beams, which are fucking awesome, by the way.
I was never a fan early on of the Omega things. I just maybe because of the way you see it on comic panels. But in this, they look sick.
For those of you guys that don't know what Omega beams are, they're essentially
zigzag laser rays.
Unavoidable zigzag laser rays, where they're heat-seeking. Once it's locked onto a target, it will hit that target. It's not like Clark's, not like Superman's, where it's just dead straight wherever he's looking. Although some people...
They work by magic, by the way.
That's
awesome. How lasers work. And lasers, in this case, spelt with 2 Zs.
What's awesome is there are a few heroes who have managed to avoid this unavoidable attack. Right. One of them's Batman.
Really?
And that's fucking awesome if you ask me. Yeah, that's cool. Fucking cool. Anyway,
there's a reason he's the leader of the Justice League.
Exactly right there. Not the face, but the leader. Anyway, it's really cool. Kills Arthur, and then also we get one shot.
Recruits Superman.
Yes, we see one shot. I think that just before recruiting Superman, it's Superman's holding the charred body of what we suspect is Lois Lane. He's crying his eyes out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And Darkseid puts his hand on his shoulder. Yeah. And then the very next shot is him standing over the corpse of a Green Lantern.
Yes, some alien Green Lantern for sure, yeah.
The big sign of the Justice League headquarters. Yeah. And holding the cowl of Batman.
Yeah. It's first of all, it's kind of terrifying because he's in shadow. It's this close away from being Bruce's head.
Yes, I thought it was his head. I was like, oh,
me too.
Me too. Okay. Oh.
And the only thing that bugs me is because we don't know how Lois dies. At least in the movie, we're not shown.
They allude to it, but they don't.
They do allude to it that Batman is somehow the reason, right? It's got to be bad because I get the impression that if Lois died and someone touched Clark here, they're getting atomized.
Why wouldn't it just be he just destroy everything in the area?
But
apparently not.
It's quite a scary vision so what is this? But we're not going to focus too much on what it is, but Batman sees the future because Barry connects him with the Speed Force in this time paradoxy thing. What happens with Vic here, though?
I'm not sure because I had the theory. I was thinking maybe the mother box showed it, but then why would the mother box
is off at the minute, though?
Off at the minute, and also wants this to happen. It wants the unity to happen. It's part of that magic. So why would it show something that would discourage someone from doing it? Is it the ship? But the ship doesn't have precognitive abilities or anything like that.
Although it is also a movie, so it could just be that.
It's true. It's a
cool
movie.
Scene. It's a very cool scene. So.
And he goes, and when Cyborg sees that, he's like, "No,
go."
All right, let's go. Really cool run up right here.
Barry runs
builds up a lot of charge, jumps out, does a really cool thing where the box hits the water, but because Barry's running so fast, he turns back time a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Not much, but just a bit.
Just a bit to pull the box back out, and he dives over, touches it with the electricity going around his finger, and then fumble all the way through the ship and burst through a wall and the worst.
Barry's interesting, and the way they do it here is interesting because he takes a couple of injuries, but also like the Speed Force protects him in a way, like so he's actually incredibly tough at speed, but also kind of like a footballer where like any little thing and they like trip up or can get injuries. Barry's a weird power. I'm not a huge
Flash fan, but does he also have semi-super healing abilities as well? Because his metabolism is so quick. And so if he was to later on when he gets injured, he recovers a lot quicker.
That last one,
was the time.
Is the time.
Yeah.
But yes, he does heal quicker. I'm not a huge Flash fan. Flash more than say like Quicksilver. I think it's very difficult to make someone that runs good. Also, the thing that bugs me about this Barry is I hate the way he runs, but he is one of my favorite visual scenes in this movie.
The thing is, he doesn't always run that bad. There are some times where he runs and he's like flicking the Speed Force almost. But then sometimes, like at the very last bit where he's doing the speed run, he was running normally. He's running like that, and I'm like, that's cool. You know what you have to do.
Like if they'd have stuck with the weird running, I could have justified it in a headcanon, which is at that speed, he's functionally flying.
Yeah.
Right? He's touching the floor for way less than he's between strides. So he's kind of flying in a weird way.
Yeah.
Okay. But because it switches, I'd never know how I feel about it. Anyway, he does the thing, touches the box, boom,
boom, explosion into the sky.
Lois sees it.
The mother box flies out. Yeah, Lois is outside.
The mother box canes a car. I didn't think it was that heavy, but apparently it is.
I know, it landed on the car, and it's just like throwing someone out of a 20-story building on it. Canes a car. It's still active. It's still like pulsing and stuff like that. But in the sky, a figure.
Yeah.
That Lois sees it. Oh my God, what's going on right there? And then it flies down over to the Superman. It's Superman. It's Clark. He's back. And my God, is he ripped?
Damn, son.
Those pecs.
Damn. No one's that straight.
It's like if you put him down straight, it'd be like, okay, here's his abs. There's a few bumps going on there. And then there's a house. And then it just goes on like that. His pecs are huge.
He's in good shape. The rest of the Justice League, most of the Justice League arrive.
Exactly. And they all look, they're like, oh, he's back. Oh my God, they're all hopeful. Everything's great.
He's back.
But then he starts to like
he's scanning us. And then Vic's auto defenses, like, what are you doing? It's my auto defenses. They detect a threat.
Exactly. I can't. His body reacts like without him even knowing what to do, and his arm starts to convert into like a rocket launcher.
I love that Vic's body, at least, chooses that the best form of defense is a good offense. It's like, oh, it's Kryptonian. Murk it.
Kryptonian. Sure, I'll just turn it inside out. That's not going to work out. Anyway, he shoots, and immediately you're like, oh, you ducked.
Oh, no. What?
The way that Superman sort of dodges it, he's just like...
And then the worst thing, this is where I think things start to actually go potentially really poorly, is Diana. Because she says, Kal-El, no.
Yeah. Kal-El, no. It's like, if you go with Clark, it would have been better.
It might have been like that twinge of recognition.
Exactly. But then he starts to really go to town. He starts to heat vision stuff around him. Yeah. He starts to beat them around like toys. This is unfiltered Kryptonian strength right here.
I'm going to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Which is that they aren't trying to fight or defeat Superman.
True.
They're trying to make sure to get Clark back to, and they even say restrain him.
Yeah.
Because
Arthur restrain him.
Yeah, I think outside of water and currently where he is, Arthur and Wonder Woman are about equal where they are. I think Aquaman will end up being more powerful outside of water and way more powerful underwater. But
Poseidon's trying and stuff like that.
And knows how to use the water and stuff. So they're pretty powerful, but they aren't trying to like kill or beat Superman.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's hold him down. That's what it's supposed to be while we figure out our next move.
Exactly. Barry is involved in some of the best scenes in this movie.
Just before that one, before we get to the Barry bit, Wonder Woman throws the lasso around him, and is like almost for a second works. He grabs it by his fucking hand like that, and like pulls her close. She puts her foot on a step, like, Kal-El, last son of Krypton. Know your name. It's like,
tell me who you are.
Tell me who you are. And just as he's about to like almost get affected by it, he's like, like that. Boom.
She said the wrong name.
Oh God, she didn't say Kal-El.
The worst thing is she says the wrong name because she's trying to honor his Kryptonian heritage, but he isn't Kryptonian.
Exactly.
He's a human being from Earth who happens to be a Kryptonian. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like he's Clark Kent from Smallville, Kansas, who happens to have been.
It's like if you were born on a plane going over Germany. You're not German. Right. You're wherever you were born.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. Is she's trying to not be like she's trying to like honor his heritage and who he is and stuff, but she says totally the wrong name.
Bad plan of attack. But then Barry, as you said.
Yeah, so Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg come, and he's like holding them all, and Barry just runs around the side.
He does a cool thing where he's like on the floor,
he does this weird,
he zips off.
There's no reason for that pose. It's ridiculous. I also enjoyed it more than I want to admit. I really liked it. I did really like it. It's stupid. It's really stupid. I really liked it as well. So he runs around the side to like, I don't know, get an angle on Clark. Him. I love the scene, man. How freaking scary is this? The eye.
Just horror. Straight horror.
The eye to the side.
I'm the fastest man in the world, bro. I'm the fastest man in the world.
No, not the he can see me, but then he moves the rest of him and he's moving in that realm of speed.
Yeah.
Throws everyone away. Yeah. Turns. And like Barry suddenly realizes this goes from I can help to as long as I don't get hit, I can maybe live. And so, Superman's going for him, swinging, and then Barry goes to like nudge him away like he did with the parademons, right?
Yeah.
He can impose a force. Except this is a man of steel.
Yeah, you don't do that.
And also, so here's the thing. A lot of people have a beef with this fight where he like jumps.
Yeah.
But he's in that same speed. But he can fly at that speed.
I was going to say.
He isn't jumping, he's flying.
It's not gravity.
Yeah.
He's moving his body.
Exactly.
That's what he's doing. And he jumps at him and he gets to one point where he almost gets him. He knocks him over.
Yeah.
And then all you see is the red eyes light up. And I'm like,
also,
this is where the Flash dies.
This is the bit. I love that the scene where he pushes Clark, he's starting to fly. So he's pushing. He's not pushing against a person on the ground. He's pushing against Clark's power of flight, which is Clark's power.
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Just bounces off.
Exactly.
And murks himself. It's great.
And the red eyes light up. But then luckily the army starts shooting at him at that point and sort of distract him. You see some nice like hits on the face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's not a good idea as well. Because then he starts laser eyesing the trucks, the Humvees.
Oh, yeah.
One of them goes flying, is about to hit old Jimmy Olsen, the police officer guy. Yeah. And Cyborg jumps in the way and protects him.
I also love the way his heat vision looks in this.
Oh, great.
With like the plasma dripping off it and stuff. It looks so good. So good.
Yeah, and what happens next? Batman finally comes to the fight, and he picks up one of the soldiers, like, get to safety.
Yeah.
But rightfully, Batman stays very far away.
I mean, he's not stupid. He also doesn't have a
superpower. He's just
a
dude.
Spear made of kryptonite.
He's just like, you guys, you got this? You guys got this?
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm going to stay back
This is why I made the Justice League for. You guys play the match. I'm the manager.
This is what I brought you together for. He's just like, I'm just going to stay over here, guys. No problem.
Right.
And then Kal-El sees him from across the way.
Oh, yes. So,
and then he begins to make his way to him.
Again, Barry has some of the best scenes in this. Barry is going to like maybe tackle him, which would have been a terrible idea, and he dodges out the way.
He just sidesteps and like pushes him a little bit.
Yeah.
Bang into Aquaman.
They go flying into the thing, which also creates one of the funniest memes I've ever
at the end, didn't
it?
Yeah. Cyborg comes in as well and tries to grab with the two arms as well. He's very lucky he didn't turn him into a beer can for a second.
He grabs him with his arms, and over the top, his little arms are punching him in the face, doing nothing.
You bully!
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't turn him inside out.
We did get very lucky at this point.
Exactly.
Because he could have just been like, what's this glowing thing?
Huh. Okay.
Don't need that. Yeah. Never. He's gone limp. Oh well.
Oh well. There you go. And then Wonder Woman. Comes out. She's just about to, from a safe-ish distance, about to smash her gauntlets together. Super speed Superman comes right up and grabs arms, headbutt each other once or twice either way.
Yeah.
Superman though, however, flies up and gives the super headbutt. She goes into the ground.
Wonder Woman again, not like 100%. I need to kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Still trying to restrain him.
Yeah.
Cal or like brain wipe Superman doesn't really know. Okay, he's just kind of he's not trying to kill everybody, but he's just fighting.
Yeah, it's instinct.
He's also Superman, and she isn't. and he just mullers her into the ground.
Yes.
And again, testament to Wonder Woman being so strong because she doesn't freaking die.
Yeah,
she's just a human being, and their head ends up on the ground, but through their body, like halfway into their freaking guts. Right, like he's Superman.
It was damn impressive that she managed to take that, and then finally flies over to Batman.
Yeah,
Clark, no. Eyes start to glow. Laser vision. Batman's fast enough to put his gauntlet in the way, the one that absorbs energy and stuff like that.
Which was shown to us earlier in the freaking movie. It doesn't just happen to be a thing he has. What the frick?
Exactly. And he gets knocked all the way back, like with the force, which must have fucking
Luckily,
hurt.
he takes the thing off because it's overloaded.
It sounds like it's about to explode. It's like he gets out of there.
Should have been like a freaking Iron Man, right? Just shoot it back at him. That
exactly. Throw it back. I got you there, didn't I? All your energy back. And then like he sees like he's not dead, but he's on the ground and he's about to charge up and shoot again. And he lights up his laser eyes. Boom! One more shot, but he's got his other gauntlet, so he's protecting himself. He's like, Clark.
And in that time,
Clark, no. And then in the background,
Lois.
She's
the key, man.
Clark, no.
Yeah, Clark. I love how he just like. It's not. Oh yeah, I'm back.
I know who you are. No, it's like
it's like, and then he likes the look of her. I also like Aquaman's response about why he does this. But he like, okay, and he comes down. I also love the way he lands.
Yeah, very like softly,
gently,
cautiously,
and like toes and then feet.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looked good. And then she runs up to him, and he like. It feels familiar, but he doesn't know why. And she hugs him, and there's this bit where he like, not in a creepy way, but he like smells her hair and knows what she smells like, but he doesn't know why he knows her.
It's a familiar memory of some
He knows
sort.
the smell. He knows her, and then she says like, let's go.
Just go.
And he flies off. He chooses where they go.
Exactly.
Also, I don't know if a human being can just naturally survive that.
I was gonna say
the chill, but it's a movie.
Don't worry about it. In the other movies, they would say that this is totally bullshit. By the way, I don't believe it. But like Superman's powers of invulnerability extend outside of his body, and also that's why he can get shot and his suit doesn't tear. Right. And I was like, right. But extend that far to protect a human?
Yeah. I feel like we could maybe argue that because when we see him fly, like rocks come up around him. Which I hate that. It's a good visual. It's very Dragon Ball Z, but it's not Superman.
Doesn't make sense, really.
I also like the idea because in one of the previous thing where the atmosphere powers him, like he when he's fighting Steppenwolf. I like the look of doing that. The atmosphere thing's bullshit, but I like the look of him like sucking in air.
Visually nice. Nice. Anyway,
Steppenwolf comes to the mother box.
Exactly. Comes to the mother box area, looks over at the car, but the car no longer has the mother box on it. It just has the dent. The scientists around are scared, but I don't feel like they're scared enough.
Oh, nowhere close.
I'm like, this is a giant alien thing with the biggest spiky body in the world and a big axe.
Who kidnapped 7 of you.
Exactly. And they're all just like, oh, hide behind the thing.
Oh, no, it's a big... it's a bit of a phoned-in scene, these guys, isn't it?
Oh, well, I would be like, the hell, and I would do that.
Exactly. He wasn't even hearing you.
Anyway,
so Silas took the Infinity Stone.
Yes.
Mother box. They're the same thing.
And he takes it into the laser room that they were heating up parts of the Kryptonian ship.
I like this as well because prior to this, we've seen and heard about the electron laser at least 3 or 4 times. Yeah. It's a thing. We know he's been doing a lot of work with it.
Set up before.
It makes a lot of sense that he would go here, and he's planning ahead. Yeah. He takes it, puts it down by the laser.
Yeah, his idea was that he was going to do something with it. We don't know what just yet. But he's about to leave at this moment. He's about to get out of this chamber that he's in. But Steppenwolf arrives, swinging his axe, destroying the door. There's smoke as well, so he just can't stepping through the smoke.
It's a great visual where he like ducks under it and stands up. He's actually...
Give me the mother box.
He doesn't need to have ducked that far, but the visual's so good.
It makes him seem so much more larger, right? And so much more imposing.
Yeah, and this Steppenwolf is much better than other potential villains could be.
I need him to look a bit more human. I need him to look like he's got a bit more like a
weird goatee.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
And like watery, wet little eyes that just, he looks like a simp in it. He looks like he'll donate his month's rent to Pokemon and be like, notice me.
And just as he's about to leave, he sees him come in, but he's like, I don't have the time. He closes the container door, And just at that moment, Cyborg comes in as well because he knows his dad is in danger. Yeah. And he sees Steppenwolf and he's about ready to fight, but then he looks behind him and he's like, Dad, no, because he realizes what's going to happen.
And he hits the button.
And it's all in slow motion as well.
It's also all in silence. Yes. So I can't remember exactly what the last thing they say to each other is, but the last thing Silas did was, without hesitation, 100% back Victor. It's the last thing he did. His last act with his son is to defraud the American government so his son can do something in a top secret base with alien technology without a second's hesitation.
And we'll find out later, he does even more for his son in this next bit. Anyway, he hits the laser. That thing's supposed to be heated up to 3.5 million Kelvin, so his body immediately starts to blister and just disintegrate into nothing.
It's really cool. So it hits the thing, the light comes on, not really sure, then trickle of blood, the eyes go blood, like black bloodshot, and then skins boil. It's a really not good scene. I like it. You know what I mean? It looks good.
The thing that was good about it as well is that he was looking at his son. His son's looking at him. It wasn't painful. It wasn't distressful, at least from what we could see.
Yeah,
it was just
mostly instant. Yeah,
we have an understanding. We're locking eyes. We know, like, I love you, son.
Goodbye.
This is the last thing. Goodbye.
He's saying goodbye, and for at this point, we think it's a heroic attempt to destroy the mother box.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work. Silas is
still there.
Silas is killed. The laser turns off.
He smacks the cyborg out of the way with his axe, and I thought he killed him for a second.
So did I.
Axe. And then he smashes open the containment area, and he's got the mother box.
Takes the mother box.
Guess it wasn't on for long enough.
Which again, we established that he could touch that mother box.
Yes.
Because it's all the heat is transferred into the core of the mother box, but you could actually touch it. Same with the Kryptonian ship.
Exactly.
Because they say, like, you're looking at the hottest thing on Earth.
They say it before.
Yeah, and they mention that the Kryptonian and this mother box technology have similar properties, is what they say.
Yes.
So it's established. It's actually well thought out.
And Steppenwolf is right there, and just as everybody comes to help Cyborg, he says, "So begins the end," and then boom, beams out of there in his teleporter, and he's gone.
Yeah, Cyborg. Everybody arrives. Cyborg is sort of figuring out his dad's dead, coming to terms with it.
He's like crippled emotionally.
Yeah.
And he like can't get up properly, but maybe from his, like, he's just been hit, but also
it's more grief. I don't think it's damage, it's grief.
Yeah, I don't think he's damaged, but maybe he's like, I can't say he's knocked the wind out of him because he's a robot, but it's like he can't get up. He just can't face to get up. It's just his dad's just died, and he's like, he's dead. I didn't save him. I couldn't.
Yeah. Arthur even says, like, we just got this guy's dad killed for nothing.
And I don't know if you noticed, he sheds 2 tears.
Even androids can cry.
My God, who did it better, Marvel or
yeah. Right there. Also, but the thing is, he gets in there while so everybody's discussing. Arthur has this one line. Diana says he knew Lois, and who's Lois, the woman he loves. No, he went to her because she wasn't afraid of him. He's working on instinct, which I actually really like, and I think he's more right than not.
Yeah.
And then not Silas, Victor realizes he wasn't trying to destroy the mother box because he's in the room. There's equations behind him. He's thinking about who his dad is, what he knows, and he knows he has access to all the information about this stuff.
I was going to say, his mind is working as well. Like, he's like, I know what all of this is. Oh, I get what he was doing with this one.
He wasn't trying to destroy the box. He was superheating it. That's the hottest thing on the Earth.
So it could be tracked.
Right.
And it goes, Bruce says as well, it's like, let's say, that kind of thing must be letting off a massive thermal signature, which could be tracked by a satellite. Let's head back to the Batcave so I can use my satellite to track it. And Barry's like, you have a satellite?
I have 6. It's 6.
Barry's just like, quiet, okay.
They don't even need to wait to get to the Batcave, though. Vic's already on it.
Exactly, he's already on it. Part 6, something darker.
Right. Clark touches down in Kansas at the farm.
In the middle of the fields. Dum, dum,
and it immediately remembers who he is, and that's it. We go back to the movie.
And that's it. There we go. Justice League did it right, everyone. Let's hear it. Good job.
How that made it in.
I love that no one got whiplash by that when they were watching this movie back to like review before putting out. They were like, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. I love, we'll just do the whole thing here because I think it does cut between a few times.
It goes back and forth.
But we'll just do all the stuff at the farm, right?
Let's do that.
They touch down. Mm-hmm. Lois says, you brought us here. Do you remember it? And he goes, he says this is home, right?
He says, yeah, this is home. It's like,
he says it, but he doesn't know what it means. He just knows this is home.
Yeah. It's like, you spoke. It's like, did I not before?
Like, he's trying to remember who he is, what their relationship is. He's kind of testing the waters. This is slow.
Yes.
Like, they go in. She finds him some clothes.
A flannel shirt, which...
Yeah, very Smallville, Kansas.
It's a very... I was going to say, is it his father's shirt? Is it his old shirt? Or is it just anybody in Kansas wears a flannel shirt? It could be any one of them.
The point is, it's men's clothes in the Kent farm homestead, right?
Something he would have worn.
Right.
Yeah.
And they put it on, and he's looking out, and there's two things. Yeah. They talk about Martha, and she says...
She's a proud woman.
She got behind on the things. She's a proud woman. And he says, she loved it here. So did I. But...
And the way he says it is like, so did I.
Yeah. He's like, I love it here.
And then he hears like the birds tweeting, and he's zooming out.
The score's gorgeous.
A bit as well.
Okay. Outside the window is a swing.
Yes.
The swing, irrelevant. In my opinion, what it symbolizes is this is the home of Clark Kent.
Yes.
This is where he grew up. He isn't Kal-El, last son of Krypton, although he kind of is. This is Clark Kent, only son to Martha and Jonathan Kent, who farm in Kansas, live in Smallville. Right, like it's his childhood he's looking at. He was born and raised, functionally born and raised, reborn and raised here. Yeah. Like this is his home. This is his childhood. This is his memories. This is his family.
Every memory has been on this farm, and especially in Man of Steel, we see the one scene as well after he saves that busload of kids of all of his school friends and whatnot.
Yeah, when he sat on the swing.
Sat on the swing, and he can hear inside what Pete's mother is saying. Yeah. It's an act of God, Jonathan, and whatnot. And that's where he's contemplating whether or not he's a freak and whether or not he should have done this thing. What should he have done? And equally, he's probably had great moments on that swing and other bad moments. So it's all perfect.
The tranquil music as well with the she loved it here, so did I, and that it's so perfect. It's really well done. It fits so well, and it takes time for us to get here.
Yeah.
I know we cut between, but we'll just do this whole thing.
Go on, do the other thing.
Lois is looking for Clark and then sees him outside in the cornfield or something.
He's touching the crops, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Running his hands through
his mother's, the last bit of his mother's legacy, his family's legacy, the crops, the things that the Kent family make grow.
But it's like, okay, so he's coming back. Is it
his connection to Earth?
Is
his connection to the planet, isn't it? Like,
but is it him? Like Lois comes out afterwards, and it's like, I wonder if it's him. I'm going up.
Also, one thing while he's doing that, and I did say we need to see this. He's smiling. It's not this huge grin, but it's just this like contented smile. Like, yeah, I'm home. This is what we do.
Yeah.
I'm home. This is here. I'm here. I know where I am. And then Lois comes up behind him. I'll take that as a yes.
I'll take that as a yes then. It's like, what?
The ring.
It's him.
It's him. You're back.
It's him. He's back.
I also love that because he trusts her, he hasn't scanned her, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know yet. He doesn't know.
Exactly. But we don't know what we're talking about anyway.
Sorry, we don't know what we don't know what he doesn't know. Exactly. Martha arrives.
Yeah, so after they have a little thing, they have a little discussion right there. It's like, I've got a second chance, Lo, he says. And he says
I actually really love that line. I didn't like the Lo before, but it fits so well here. I've got a second chance, Lo.
But it was a perfect way to signify that he's back in another way as well. Like he knew about the ring, he knew about where to come, and the Lo part is the deep relationship that they have between each other. Yeah. I've got a second chance, Lo, and I'm not going to waste it.
No.
And then Mother comes up, Martha. I don't know why she's there, by the way.
She will have seen on the news, is what I'm saying. And
or maybe even Finn called her. You never know.
Yeah, maybe she called her. Anyway. I guess that they will have seen some crappy phone footage of a man in the sky over the Kryptonian ship.
Perhaps.
Where do you go? Back to the Kent farm? Like, why not?
Maybe.
No one else has the house anyway yet, so like, you know.
It's true. No one. It doesn't really matter. Then there she comes back and she sees him from when she gets out of the car. She starts running over to him. Yeah. Clark's just like, I know she's going to be emotional. This is my mother. She's probably missed the hell out of me, and just walks calmly over to her. I love how
it doesn't have like an existential crisis. Oh my God, am I alive again? What the frick?
And he just goes straight into, I'm back. What's up? And he's like, is it really you? It's like, yeah, it's me, Ma. Oh, God.
I love that. It's me, Ma.
And then he holds both of them together, hugging them. And it's like, they brought me back for a reason.
Yeah.
I need to find out what that reason is.
Then we cut to Vic. It's like the Batcave or something.
Yeah, so we, I think, let me just find my notes back in again.
We skipped over them getting to the Batcave.
Yeah, we come back to the Batcave. And Barry's like, woo! woo, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Just so like, Barry,
Bruce introduces Alfred as the man he works for.
This is the man I work for. Diana nods, and I think I
got it back to front.
I was saying,
it's Aquaman. This is badass, Alfred.
Yeah, Cyborg just walks past, but he walks proud. He's not hiding anymore, which is a good thing.
That is good, yeah.
Flash is like kind of goofy. He's like, hey, how you doing? Whatnot. Aquaman's like, this is badass, Alfred.
It is cool.
And Alfred's just like, well, I'll put the tea on then.
Don't know where I'll get the mugs from.
Because
I've only ever needed 2.
Because I only ever needed 2, damn it. And Diana used it in the last scene and whatnot. So what the fuck are we going to do now? Anyway.
Somebody clocks or states, because it is important as to why he's in this reactor, that Steppenwolf has harvested the radiation to build the dome, the protective dome around them.
They locate in the city of like Poznan,
somewhere
place
in Russia.
And it's like, yes, that place. Yes, we know it very well. It was radioactive.
Definitely not Chernobyl.
Exactly. Of course not. Well, there's been other reactors that we don't know about that blown up. It was radioactive, but then they're harvesting the energy to build the dome, like you said.
And there's this thing about he's fought hundreds of worlds. We have to assume he's won.
One sec before we get to that bit.
Okay.
Hey guys, so we can't take it on from the outside. Victor says I need to plug directly into the mother box, and he goes,
our plan.
I want to go one-on-one with it, but Diana's like, no, this is a bad idea. You can't go up against the mother box. Those things are really like powerful. They'll split you inside. They'll trick you.
It's also the thing that made you. Like you assume it's more powerful.
But Cyborg, at this point, and this is a good point because you need to see that he's still not fully turned yet. Kind of a death wish at this point. It's like, I've got nothing left to lose. I just lost my dad. I've got nothing left to lose at this point.
I think this means 2 things. It's not. He says I've got nothing left.
Yeah.
I think it's partly that, but it's also I'm out of ideas. Like I can't see any other option, and I have literally all the information available on the planet.
Exactly.
I don't see any other alternative.
True. That's another way of saying it.
And then
as well.
he says, I can't remember exactly. I don't have it written down.
I think I have this here. He goes, okay, so let's get this right. Let's say we get Victor there. This guy has fought hundreds of beings on other planets. He's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won. And Bruce says the amazing line.
I don't care how many demons he's fought in how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Not us united. The sickest line.
Sick. It also, in my opinion, it's a callback to the picture in Lex's room because they say like demons come from above and angels from below, and he says I don't care how many demons he's fought in hell, but he's supposed to be the Dark Knight that comes from below, and really, like I don't know, I found it to be a freaking sick line. And also Vic says something cool as well. He talks to Diana and says something like, "You're the one that wanted me to use these gifts, so I'm going to use them." So he's referring to what he can do now as gifts. He's not hiding when he comes past Alfred. It's part of his arc, and a lot of it is silent. And I think it's good. It's really well done.
It is really well done. God, I just love that line.
It's so good.
Not us united.
I don't care how many demons he's fought in how many hells. Oh my God. Jesus. This guy has no powers. He has money.
Yeah.
He has money, and he's a ninja. That's it.
Steppenwolf. Throws a wad of 20s at him.
Right. Go buy yourself something pretty.
Okay. Then we cut the clock and we walk back.
Back in the Batcave, Vic is just standing there looking at like a hologram protection of the thing. He's obviously fixing the
trooper carrier thing that they've got right there.
Yep. Bruce tells Diana about his vision. He says, "I was sick."
Just before that bit, Aquaman says like he gets nice for a bit.
Yes.
He's like gets that kind of kind and cares about him. He's like saying it's not fair what we're asking Victor to go up against.
He just lost his dad.
The man has to go up against powerful machines after just losing his father. It's not right. And he's like, since when did you care? It's like,
no, he says, I thought you didn't care.
Yeah.
And Arthur says, I never said that. And actually, if you listen to his dialogue, he never once says, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to help you. He says, I think this is a bad idea. I don't think we should do this.
He's a bit pessimistic.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care.
He never says, I don't care. He never says that. Exactly. And actually, the second he says that, you're like, he has never said he doesn't care.
Good point.
And he's always turned up.
Good point right there.
Yeah. It's more watch what I do, not what I say sort of thing.
Yeah. And then Diana comes up and speaks to Bruce.
Yeah, he says, it's so weird. I had a vision. I was sitting right here and Barry Allen was right there. And what have I got?
And he was telling me that Lois was the key.
Yeah. And she says, well, he's the key to Superman's heart. She's the woman he loves. And he goes, no, it's something darker.
Very ominous. Very ominous right there.
Vic,
then what happens?
Vic, the troop carrier arrives. It actually arrives at the Batcave. I think that someone says we have something to show you or something. They all gather on the lift, come up, and the carrier's there. And another great line with Vic. He says, Bruce says, you fixed it. And he says, it wanted to fly. It's its nature. And he says, it's yours too.
It's yours too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking great line.
It's so inspiring. It's so great.
And this is part, like, if Bruce does kind of have a superpower, he's like the greatest detective, where he's an incredible mind and planning and stuff like that. But also that means he can see potential in people. And he sees in Victor not what Victor presents the world, not what Victor looks like, but Victor's potential. And that's what he's saying here. He sees the cyborg that will be in the Avengers, in the Justice
Avengers.
League. Whoops. He sees the cyborg that will be in the Justice League, the hero in the future, not the and he's kind of unlocked this power because Superman saved his soul and redeems him in BVS. So it's a big deal.
And they have the team up meeting inside the troop carrier where they have the plan. They're like, okay, so what we need to do, I need to interface with it directly. I need to get into the mother box.
Barry's going to build up a charge to power me up enough that I can force my way through the firewall, basically.
Exactly. It's like, you're going to need to run faster than you've ever run before, Barry. And it's like, oh, sure.
That's pretty freaking fast, man.
We had issues, remember last time? It's like, okay, we'll do this then. And that's the plan. And then we cut to Superman. He's at the Kryptonian ship.
I freaking love this.
This whole thing right now. Would you mind if I was to take this away, being Superman?
Please do.
So he's there at the ship, and just as he enters in one of the corridors and whatnot, you start to hear the words of Jor-El and Jonathan Kent. And both of them are words they've said before.
I'm getting chills right now. You haven't even started.
They start saying words they've said before, words of encouragement, like Man of Steel and stuff like that. But they're woven together. One says something, then the other one says something, and they complement each other so perfectly, like a symphony. And he starts walking through the ship, and each one of the closets open up to show like a different arm or a different suit and whatnot. But then he stops at one of them. You can't see what it is just yet. Yeah. And all the meantime, again, Jor-El and Jonathan Kent are speaking in the background.
Start to line up a bit as well. So
exactly.
Jor-El is saying things like, you'll be a god to them, and he's talking about like the legacy that he'll have that he'll never see, that Clark will have that he'll never see. Jonathan's talking about like you have to decide who you are and stuff like that. And by the time he's picking his suit, Jor-El's saying, "Love them, Cal." Yeah, please take it.
Love them, Cal, the way we loved you. And then Jonathan's like, "Fly, son, it's time." And he's out there with his beautiful black suit.
Oh god, it's so good.
And he touches to the ground and makes his hand do the thing with the moving dirt and busts into the sky.
It's so good. It's so good. There is only one line before that.
This was great.
There was only one line before that sets it up so well. He says, Jor-El says, "They'll stand in the sun with you," which is so perfect because it's the imagery for humans, but it's also really important for Clark's powers,
for him to charge
Kal-El's powers.
Yeah.
And then that, and oh my god, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. There is, we went a bit out of order. Just before that, we do see Steppenwolf starts the Unity.
Oh yeah,
so like we're at a real time crunch now.
Exactly.
Which is also part of that weird thing where like Clark is taking his time picking, and we're there like, Clark, man, maybe you need to hurry up. Like,
this is gonna. We saw the flashback that Cyborg, you don't come on.
But there's no rushing this scene.
Exactly.
That scene's so good. Oh my god, is that scene good?
He flies up into the sky, flies out of the atmosphere into the sun to grab his sunlight.
Yeah,
in
he's
his
fully
Jesus pose.
charged. I do wish that he had carried some injuries with him, which is why he picked the black suit. It would make more sense knowing what the black suit is, because it's like a healing suit. Damn, does it look good.
There was one thing that I don't know if you heard about, that apparently Zack Snyder wanted Henry Cavill to have a mullet. Because in all of the comic books, because he's been dead for so long, his body still continues to grow and what, even though he's dead. So his hair would have grown out, and even he's had enough time to recharge and become alive again. But he hasn't had enough time to get a haircut. So he has a mullet when he comes out in every one of the comics and stuff like that.
That would be sick if he's got the long hair and a beard. That would be sick.
He doesn't have a beard in any of them, but that is how he looks. And I was like, that would have been fun.
I'm so glad they didn't.
I was going to say, but that would have been way distracting. You'd have been like, like when you look at Willem Dafoe with the long hair, you're like, I only see the long hair. I only see the long hair.
I see Willem Dafoe in a terrible wig. That's all I can
beautiful.
see.
I love it.
That's all I can see.
Anyway, he jumps out. He's in his black suit.
The Justice
it's
League
amazing.
arrive at the dome.
Yes, they do.
They go over the plan.
They all lock and load as well when they go like Cyborg with his arms. I think does some yoga as well when he's sharpening the sword.
They're doing their like Guardians of the Galaxy getting ready for the fight thing.
Exactly.
They go over the plan one last time. Bruce lowers the ramp so everybody can get out. They kind of say goodbye. And one thing I don't know if you noticed, Diana never takes her eyes off Bruce, but Bruce, being a man of like focus, turns around and goes. He never looks back. He has a plan in mind, and he has to go and achieve it.
Yeah.
And as that ramp goes up, Diana's watching him and
I
knowing that.
But this is cool.
Didn't you notice?
I didn't know.
Maybe watch that scene again. It's kind of brief, and everybody is kind of turning around. But if you notice, like, she's just watching him, which knowing that they have a love story, and that also with that weird moment where they touch on the mouse, but it actually makes sense for them to have touched the thing at the same time because they're trying to do the thing. Like, I thought it was a nice little, not Easter egg, but like the start of the groundwork.
It's that as well. And also, if you think about it, the other two are brand new in the Justice League. They're just dudes in it that have powers. They're like, we're going to follow the plan. Whereas she has a deeper relationship with Bruce and is more of like a we've got each other's back type thing. And she's like, somebody's off.
They spent a bunch of time working together. Now they fought Doomsday. He's met her at parties before that. They have been looking for meta humans together. Like, they've spent a good amount of time together, and this thing is starting to start.
Yeah.
And
there was one meme that I saw that was quite funny, actually. Sorry to derail everyone for a second, but there's, you know, the way they touch each other. It was 3 pictures. It was them touching each other, them apologizing, and then someone superimposed like a small face on the mouse going,
yes. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. That's funny.
Anyway, he drops them outside and he says, I'm going to take out the dome, and whatever you see, stick to the plan.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Just stick to the plan, okay?
Fires a missile, but it heals over.
Yeah, it sort of comes back.
It's not going to work. We should redo it. No, I just need to knock a little bit louder.
Fires off like 20 missiles.
Hold on. Batman is a regular guy. He doesn't get the Superman, the Aquaman, the Cyborg stuff. But he does get some sick fucking lines. I just need to knock a little bit louder. I love that line. And just canes off, flies through,
forces
takes out
his way through as well.
Yeah, just blasts through it, kind of like he scrapes the edges, gets a couple of scrapes on the paint. We did find out in the briefing before at the Batcave that the central column is the thing they need to take out. The rest of the payload takes that out.
Yeah, takes that down. And the dome does collapse. And unfortunately, so does his ship as well.
He takes a couple knocks and
down to the side. Bruce then tells everyone, it's like, okay, the dome is down. Continue with the plan. It's like, well, what about you? It's like, I'll lure them away. I'll lure the parademons away. I was like, Bruce.
The com's dead.
Bruce.
And this whole time he's like climbing down, getting to something we can't see because there's smoke and stuff.
Exactly.
And then I think the next show is the parademons like, he flips a switch, which
it's another
just
switch
like Barry's house.
Can anyone ground these switches,
please, or like a fuse or something?
Giant sparks coming up all the time.
Don't get me wrong, visually gorgeous, but horrendous.
Yeah.
And then I think the parademons then force open the thing.
Yeah.
They start coming inside. Like, Bruce can't deal with this in this tight space.
Epic Batmobile scene. Oh!
And then fucking just turns them into Swiss cheese with machine guns.
So great. The whole next scene is just like driving through the city.
I love the Batmobile, by the way.
Up.
It's a mix between the old school, like George Clooney Batmobile, which I love.
Low, thin sort of thing like that.
But also the tumbler.
Big wheels on the side. Armor plates.
Some freaking cannon.
Mate, not even a 50 cal. It's like a 5,000 cal bullet shell in slow motion. Ding!
Yes. So cool.
Fucking cool. At one point though,
come to the rescue.
I was gonna say Bruce gets overwhelmed at one point. They rip open like the cockpit area, and just as he's about to like get stabbed and whatnot, Diana comes through, and all the rest of the Justice League come in to help and whatnot. Aquaman's like, "You are out of your mind, Bruce Wayne."
I love that. By the way, it's like a good kind of comedic relief because he said that same thing at the beginning, but now it's a sign of respect because this is Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The Flash, and some rich guy.
Yeah.
he's here, he's pulling his weight. Yeah. Half of this plan is all down to him. They potentially have Superman back because of him. Like,
exactly,
he's some guy and he's pulling his. I think it's this huge sign of respect. Like, you are out of your mind.
But it's
really good. It's really good.
And then we have one of the most epic shots in any comic book movie ever.
Yeah.
Once they all get together, they're about to blow through a building. Batman starts to light it all up so he can penetrate his way through. Penetrate. And they're all there together as a team.
Yeah.
And they're all there's this one epic slow-mo shot. Everyone takes a bounce or a hit off of the ground. Diana's flying
I did notice that this time.
She's flying this time. And it's all just a slow motion. A shot comes out of his cannon. A bolt of lightning as well coming from Barry. Epic hero shot.
So cool.
Straight through. However, Bruce did go through without a windscreen.
Yes, he did.
You are still human, Bruce. This
I choose to believe Wonder Woman was flying above him and anything
with the shield.
Yes. That's how they went through.
I was like, this is bad.
Do you know what's funny is because she flies a couple of times in this movie, but like for small periods of time.
Yeah.
And noticing it then when you pointed it out, because it was one of the most epic shots, made me hate Wonder Woman 1984 even more because they ruined that beautiful moment.
Yeah, they did.
Such a beautiful moment. It was so meaningful, so beautiful, and they ruined it with a very visually satisfying shot, but they ruined it.
I just learned this from the love of my life. Forget it.
But let me just, because it's cinematic, I'll just lasso some lightning.
There you go.
Which looked cool, but man, was that... hate it. Anyway.
Yes. Bruce goes... Bruce goes through the building without a windscreen.
Yes,
That's what
he
there.
does.
Yeah,
and Clark visits Alfred.
Yes. After a little bit of fighting and stuff like that, we...
so we hear...
there are... Yeah, let's take this in. Let's get you going. I was just going to say there's a little bit of fighting.
There's a little bit of fighting. Flash goes to build up his charge.
Batman does a cool thing that's very Batman, where like after he's used a weapon and whatnot, he sets an explosive on it. It's such a small thing, but it's a Batman thing. It's like no one else should use this. Let me destroy it and whatnot. Right.
Also, like how he gets out of takes the Batmobile all the way up to the thing where he's dodging cannon fire. He gets hit, boosts up, and then zips away.
Yeah,
and the parademons attack the chair.
They attack the chair, and also the uses the flipping car as well to take out some parademons. I was like, this is a lot expert work right here. I like this a lot.
It's really satisfying.
And then Superman
arrives at the residence. You hear the sonic boom,
shaking of
and then
scotch.
Just a very slow, very gentle touchdown, and then Alfred. Master Kent.
Exactly. It's like, you must be Alfred. Master Kent. It's like, Master, because he has to be so respectful. Yeah. Oh, so good.
It's so good. Right also there. Because he knows that's Alfred because he heard him at the Lex party in the ear.
Exactly.
So,
and he's like, I'm assuming you're Alfred. It's like, Master Kent. He said you would come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
Yeah. And then we infer that he's giving all the deets.
Exactly.
And he heads up. That's how he knows where to go.
There's a big beef, bruv. It's all down in... Let me look. Lover.
You know, it's that place that's not Chernobyl's near Moscow. That place.
Is it Chernobyl?
No, yeah, I know the place. Thanks, Alfred. You know.
Got it. I'll put it in my GPS. 1 second.
Aquaman and Cyborg arrive inside the chamber.
I was going to say, Steppenwolf at this point is powering himself up somehow by the cube. Yeah. His eyes all glow.
Importantly, the all three of the cubes are actually together.
Yes.
They formed the unity, but they're trying to synchronize, so that's why they're all out of shape. And it's the synchronization that you need to match, right?
Exactly.
And presumably he's like feeding from it.
It's strange because
he works for the guy that the boxes work for, so maybe, but suddenly his eyes glow.
The boxes sort of have like their own intelligence almost, because earlier on it showed him the anti-life equation, right?
Yes.
So maybe they also called him back and said, let me give us you some power or something like that, but he doesn't have any extra power. He just has glowing eyes.
It looks very cool.
Exactly.
And that's the most important thing.
Anyway, and then Aquaman comes along, he stamps his Poseidon thing, and was like, hey, doom, doom. Yeah. And then they start to fight with a massive explosion. There are cyborgs flying around, shooting like bolts of energy at him and stuff like that. All meanwhile, Barry is picking up speed and building up charge in the background. Steppenwolf makes a big mistake in this very next scene. Diana comes in.
Yes.
And he pisses her the frick off.
Yeah.
You weren't there to protect the Amazonians. You let them die. It's like, You just want to sign your own death warrant.
Yeah.
Okay. And she gets really pissed off, runs at him, starts fighting, gives a good few hits as well.
Yeah. But he is very strong. He's a very potent enemy.
Exactly. Steppenwolf stops Victor as well at one point when he tries to get to the mother box. And they like crumble the bridge that they're on. With
a few things happen in this time, which is he taunts Wonder Woman, says stuff like you weren't there to save your sisters, and you could have, which is a lie because we know 1-on-1 he probably would have had her.
Yeah, and
although that thing's pretty potent.
Yeah, and it does knock him on his ass a few times. At least she would have been able to defend the mother box, at least something like that.
But so he taunts her, they fight as well as Aquaman. Vic leaves to get to the box. He's there, and to stop Steppenwolf from doing something, I forget that's got a name, but she does the Amazonian blast.
She does it on like the shield, and then it crumbles the bridge that they're on.
Everybody falls
down.
It's like a bridge. They fall down
a lower level.
Yeah,
where the water is. Normally,
is
in a reactor.
Oh yeah, okay, I guess.
And then Cyborg tries to get back up, and Steppenwolf follows, but then they lasso his leg and whatnot.
Yeah.
Aquaman also helps, and they try to pull him down. It's a struggling scene right there. And then
I forget the transition.
Yeah, Steppenwolf now.
Steppenwolf gets pulled back down, knocks Aquaman into some rubble, and Diana goes to stop him getting crushed.
He gets the better of them at this point.
Yeah.
And it's quite bad. Things are looking really bad. Victor interfaces with the box.
Yeah,
he's like at the
finger thing.
Exactly. And he's like preparing for the job, and he's like telling Barry to count down to like 5.
I'm ready. I need the thing now.
Exactly. Well, he's ready for it. He's not ready for the charge just yet, but he's about to get into it. But Aquaman and Diana have been dispensed of right now.
Yeah.
There is nothing stopping him from getting to Cyborg. He jumps right up. He sneaks up behind Cyborg. Cyborg's preoccupied by what he's doing. Pulls out his axe. For Darkseid.
Takes his setup.
Bing!
Yes.
Not impressed. Superman! Looking at him dead in the eyes, and I jizz everywhere.
Yeah, I love who's just like
not impressed. And then he looks over, and the first time we've ever seen it in this universe,
I missed it the first time.
It's because
I blinked. I blinked.
He blows his freeze breath on his axe, completely putting out that lightning charge that goes through it. And then the next scene, smash, floats up into the sky. And while Steppenwolf is like, the fuck happened to my axe? Spartan kicks him backwards.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
and
the music as well. Oh god, it's so good.
And Clark proceeds to give him a savage beating.
The ultimate smackdown.
Oh my days.
The ultimate smackdown.
It's rough. My brother even said, it's not very Superman of him. You know,
it's very, very powerful.
It's savage. And my defense of that is this is a slightly darker universe.
Yeah.
He was forced by Zod to kill Zod. Superman has pancaked people, like he does in BVS. He was nearly killed by Bruce. Like, this is a slightly darker, slightly grittier timeline.
And also, there's something about when it's aliens and not humans. It's sort of there's a little bit less sympathy as well.
Also, this guy's trying to destroy all life in all universes.
There is that.
Or not even destroy it, like the anti-life equation. It's different to destroy.
We should give him a fair trial. That's what we should do.
Yeah. We'll get that lady, pay her off.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think he doesn't answer to anyone, not even to God, I think.
Not even to God, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, he smacks him down. There's a couple of like cool blows where he does like one point he throws him towards Diana. Diana does the epic clang. It hits him over to he goes flying over to Aquaman. Aquaman gives a smack as well. And then he's up in the air and Clark just goes for a nice punch. Goes and hits the side of one of the top funnels.
This is the scene where when he goes to fly, he breathes in and boosts.
And then comes back down and smacks him.
I'm actually pretty sure he doesn't need to breathe. But I love the visual of it.
It's like a muster my strength moment.
It looks great.
He boosts back down, and then when he's on like his back, it's a relentless beat down at this point.
It's a ground and pound.
Laser eyes. Smack. Laser eyes. Smack. And then there's one continuous burst of laser eyes where he goes up his body and cuts off his horn. Or his ear, whatever the fuck that thing is. It's probably a horn.
We'll call it a horn, yeah.
Cuts off a horn and gives him a haircut. And it's just like he's been defeated this moment.
Yeah, he's getting murked.
But then in the background,
it's not all over yet.
Cyborg is like, Barry, I need the charge now. Ready, yeah. But then at that moment,
Barry's doing like the
laps around the thing,
and one of the parademons on the cannon is just like blasts the thing.
He gets smart and he decides like, well, he's going to eventually come back to this spot
just
here.
shooting some in this area, right?
Boom.
Instead of chasing him, yeah.
Barry gets hit, knocked straight flat on his face. Yeah. It looks bad.
And then I think it's Bruce who's like, Barry, he's like, I'm okay. I just got the wind knocked out of me. I believe it.
His acting really for this was good.
So good.
I was like, I'm in pain watching you.
Yeah, and then you look down and it wasn't just the wind knocked out of him.
He's like, need to heal, Barry, heal, but it's not healing fast enough.
Yeah.
And then at that moment, you see
Darkseid's portal starts to appear.
Yes, Darkseid's portal appears in the background. And what's so cool about this is not like they were calling him. They were like, it appeared behind them. They just sort of do this epic turn where they're like, and he takes 2 steps forward, this gargantuan person with fucking red eyes. And like Darkseid and another person, which we think may be a Kryptonian person.
I have a theory, but yeah.
Anyway, they're there. And even Clark stops his beatdown to have a look at who the hell that is. Everyone looks round. Diana's like got at the stance ready in case anything happens. But then Cyborg in the background is like, Barry, it's happening. It's Barry.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The Unity synchronizes.
It's too late.
It synchronizes. Yeah, like white singularity. That's it. That's it. It's over.
Everything exploded. That's the end of that. We're done.
That's it. End of the movie.
See you later, guys. It's good. Right?
Thanks for coming, guys.
It was a good episode.
Patreon.com/conversations.
Supporting us over there and join our Discord. And
Except Barry sees it coming.
Wait.
And it's weird. So this is the thing. Barry isn't super fast. He has the speed force. They're different things. And he he maxes it out while standing still. But then he says, there's a few things. But I love this line where he's like, got to break the rule, Barry. Got to run. Something like that. It's like, got to break the rule. Got to run. Faster than you've ever run before. Got to go now. And he just starts running. And
epic sort of like, it's almost like the universe is vibrating around him as well as going like
the mother box is connecting is like a fundamental universal creation type event, right? I don't love the stuff that he says next. Like he says, it's kind of leaving a message to his dad.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what's going to happen when he goes this fast, which I get. I didn't love it, but it's okay.
I liked it. I think it was quite nice.
I did love the visual, though, of him like running towards this thing as the world's like disintegrating away from him.
Yeah.
But as he starts getting fast enough, things start building back up.
Every footstep he takes, it like builds back.
And the gap between him and the singularity behind it is like space and all those pictures you see from like Hubble and stuff.
Yeah.
And the closer he gets, the faster he goes, the more time reverses. So the faster he runs forward, the further back things develop.
Yeah, it like catches up and passes where he was and whatnot. And it gets to the point and you get to see everyone rebuilt again.
It was so sick, especially kind Superman.
Nightmare fuel, isn't it?
Very much nightmare fuel. But seeing what that could do to Superman, like this is an event on a power scale way beyond anything we in this universe
can even understand.
Right.
It's like beyond comprehension.
Right.
And you see like the meat forming back on the bones and stuff like that.
So
but
sick.
then
Cyborg's like skull and skeleton. It's very fucking weird. Terrifying, man. It's sick. It's very Terminator.
Yeah. And then you see him, he's fully built now. It's back to the moment right before the Unity.
Also, by the way, the like the tranquil music of him like running towards the Unity and like running in empty space, but then it like develops around him whenever he touches.
Yeah.
And going towards this ultimate like unmaking event in an attempt to save everyone, and the visuals behind him and the way it looks and the fact that he like what he says to himself at the end, like, gotta run, gotta break the wall, Barry, gotta go faster than you've ever gone before. It's the only chance. I thought it was beautiful. I really loved it.
It was beautiful.
And he runs forward, which is backwards in time up forward to Vic, slams into him with max speed force power and blasts Vic into the Unity.
And he blasts in and he's himself. And he sees like what's going on. And in front of him he sees his
him
father
and his parents.
His mother, himself, but normal.
Yeah.
and he walks up close to it, and just
so he's normal. He's in flesh,
yes,
and he sees them and him in flesh,
yes.
And they say his mum
camera sort of like pans around. Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
His mum says like, Vic, my broken boy, like come and be with us. And then his dad says like, we can be whole again. We can give you whatever you want, that kind of deal, right? And then the camera pans,
and then it's Cyborg.
And it's Cyborg.
It says, we can be whole again. We can make you better. We can make you.
We can put you back together.
Exactly. And then he just dives his hands into himself.
Yeah.
Weird. Into himself. And he's like, that's the thing. I was never broken.
And then starts like
separating them as if they're like mother boxes, like three witches almost.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
really
creepy.
strange
It's nightmare fuel. That's terrifying.
But what's cool visual is that behind.
How dare you?
Thank you, Siri. And then what's really cool visual at this moment is that, like, as he's tearing them apart, the world behind him starts to appear.
Split
and you see Superman, Aquaman, and Diana back there and whatnot. And at this moment as well, Batman comes down using his like zip line, and he's pulling them apart. And it's like,
his arms come out from behind and start trying to pull Superman,
and he just jets over there. And it's even hard for Superman. It's like
this is
And unlike the Joss Whedon version, it's not a giant thing that puts Superman on his ass and wishes that he was dead again.
Yeah.
Pointless comic relief.
How does that make sense?
Anyway, boom. That's the end of it right there.
And the mother box is dead.
That's the thing. So we don't see... I mean, they just turn off, it looks like, right? And I don't know if because he was inside it something happened, but anyway, it turns off what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then... he turns around. They turn around. They see Steppenwolf stand up because
he yells. Yeah, he like does a power yell.
Yeah, like ah. And at that moment, fucking Trident goes straight through his chest, and Aquaman, in the coolest way, just picks him up on the end of it, a skewer. And then
Clark
Superman
murks him.
Boom! Punches him to go through the portal, and Diana, just great because there's no more armor now.
Yeah.
She takes a jump off the side, swing.
No resistance. She just swings and drops.
Straight through it.
And then the best visual, on Darkseid side of the portal, the body's coming, but the head starts to move away from the body. Oh my God, it's so sick.
And it bounces over, and Darkseid just stops it with his foot.
And then crushes it. Darkseid gives zero fricks. That's like just... Look, I know in this movie...
supposed to be part of the family. I know he's been exiled, but...
That's what I was going to say. I know in this movie that it's been established he is like in the shit for something, right? Yeah. And he was 100,000 worlds or something. But man, that's cold. Yeah. That's ruthless.
For those of you guys that don't know the story of Darkseid, he killed his father and his mother. Well, he had his brother killed, and he killed his mother himself. So
that's hardcore.
This guy has some shit, you know?
I need to look into it a bit more, but yeah, there's some stuff going on.
But yeah, he's a hardcore guy. And then they all just sort of look through the portal.
It's kind of like, come on, bitch.
What are you saying? You next.
Yeah, you're next, yeah.
So
you want to get chefed up?
We got a skewer right here. I got heat eyes. I'll cook you, bro. Anyway, and then they just like close the portal at that point.
Yeah, the portal dies down, yeah.
And then Darkseid is just looking at Darkseid.
I told you.
Like, I told you he would fail. Like... Now that the mother boxes have been destroyed, somehow,
or gone back to sleep or something for 5,000 years or something.
But he says destroyed.
He does, doesn't he?
And I'm like, so how
the thing is, that happens in the flashback where they're almost unified, and then Zeus freaking lightning bolts them, and they separate and they go to sleep. I don't know, Anyway, that's off the cards for now.
Exactly. He goes, now that the mother box has been destroyed, how will you claim your grand prize?
Ready the Armada. Also, his voice is freaking terrible. Ready the Armada.
Ray Porter, I think the guys that does it is really fucking deep voice.
Is it Ray Porter? Okay.
He's like, ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
Yeah, because don't forget, these guys have done warfare, done it the old style. You know, we turn up with an army and beef out a whole planet and burn it and do the thing and then go back.
Exactly. And he turns around, there's just a giant armada of like parademons and whatnot. It's a really epic shot. I liked it a lot.
Now, here for my fan theory before we get to the epilogue, because it's the scene.
Just before we go to that bit, they go, we'll use the old ways, and then at the end they have the hero shot where they're all at the top of the tower. Superman pulls up Batman at that point. They have this epic shot. They get picked up by the troop carrier.
It's very epic. There you go. So, back to Darkseid.
Yes.
They decide to do the old ways and then walk down this great long hallway with like an army on both sides, ships out the back somewhere. Like, the guy's got an army.
Yeah.
And Darkseid's on his left, and on his right is this white-haired, very large woman with like an armor and with this like big mace thing.
Yeah.
In the Kryptonian ship, there's an open casket. Did I say this before? But I think that could be Kara. I think 20,000 years ago, whenever it was when the ship arrives, Kara gets out, and Kryptonians, at least under the right conditions, are immortal. Somehow makes her way there.
It's possible.
I think that's Kara.
As well as, I tried to look for detail, but it's so hard to see. She's not in focus at all.
You cannot see.
The suit she's wearing,
it does look like Kryptonian armor.
It looks like the same armor that Zod's wearing and all the other guys are wearing.
Kryptonian armor. It looks like the sort of thing. And we also see...
I don't know who it is, but it'd be cool if it was.
In Man of Steel, we see Kryptonian corpses on other planets that were never colonized or they died, and they're wearing similar armor. It looks exactly like the sort of armor she would have had in that ship. Yeah. She wakes up. She's the only like survivor or whatever in that ship. Wakes up, dons the armor, goes out, becomes super because of the radiation. Somehow finds a way somewhere, ends up with Darkseid and becomes like his general. Because why wouldn't you have a Kryptonian as your right hand woman? Of course you would. Of course you would.
It's immense power. Of course you would. And it's shown in the nightmare that thing has, that Cyborg has as well, that Darkseid kind of convinces Clark to be on his side.
Yeah.
Could have done the same thing for Kara.
Right.
Anyway, that's a fan theory. No confirmation of that, but that's quite cool.
Excuse me, guys. Epilogue. Let's cut that.
A father twice.
Cut that.
Yeah, we'll definitely remember to cut. I'll remember that. Yeah, let me just look at the timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Okay, cool.
A father twice.
A father twice.
The scene.
Hard.
Yeah.
Ripped my heart apart, this one, right?
Cyborg back in their apartment, goes up to the tape recorder, suddenly has the ability to just remake stuff. I'll let it go because the scene's beautiful.
Yes, that's the reason why we'll let it go.
Remakes the tape recorder because who uses tape? But it is an actual tape recorder. It's not digital. It's a tape recorder. Yeah. Remakes it, clicks it. Silas is speaking mid-sentence. No, rewind. Click.
That little thing, because that's where he left it, right? Yeah. Even though it's just been destroyed and he could have put it at any point he wanted to. That was the point he was at before. Rewind it a little bit, start again.
And for those of you who don't remember, he had to literally rewind it because it's a tape.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell is that thing?
All right.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, just go back 15 seconds. Now let me speak to you, not as a scientist, but as your father, twice over. I brought you into this world and then returned you back to it, or something like that. So deep. Oh, God. And I stopped taking notes about the speech because it was so beautiful.
It was too damn emotional. He's just giving him all the encouragement and everything that a father would say to a son. It's like, I'm so immensely proud of you and what you've become. And
you'll never know how proud. I've always been proud of you. You'll never know how proud I am of the man that you are, the man you've become.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect message because he showed it in his after Cyborg becomes Cyborg. He shows it in his actions where the very last thing that he did is under immense stress and pressure immediately backs his son.
Yeah.
Right? Just backs him because he needs to be backed.
Yeah. Because
he's his son and Silas is his father, and that's that. And this is the message that summarizes it. And he's not like we know that he wasn't always there at the football games and stuff, like that's not a good thing. But he's trying to always be there for him when he wasn't before. It's so sad and beautiful, and I really love this scene. I'm so glad it was included.
He was done super justice.
It's so nice, and it's also really important for Vic.
Yeah,
because it's the last bit of him to forgive himself.
Yeah,
for becoming Cyborg, even though it's totally not his fault.
Yeah,
right. Which is now he's willing to be seen and stuff. Like the very first, when he helps the waitress, someone looks at him, he puts up his hood and he's hunched over. And then by the time he's at Alfred, he's stood up.
Yeah.
And we see that he still has a soul, not going super fast, digging up Clark and all this stuff. And now he's resolving his relationship with his father, who he knows his father was on his side. His father backs him immediately.
Yeah.
His father was willing to give up his life to make sure that they had a chance.
Yeah.
And this is the last thing that he really actually got to say to him, and he never actually got to say it. And by listening to it and accepting it, he's Victor Stone again.
Yeah.
He's not the guy that's made of metal that could go good or bad. He's Victor Stone, who happens to have had an event happen to him where he's now got loads of metal, but he's Victor Stone and his soul's here. And
perfect conclusion.
It's so good.
Perfect.
I love it, and I can't give it justice.
And the next scene, another wrap up with another hero. Aquaman goes to see Willem the Fish.
He does go to see Willem the Fish.
And Mira by the ocean.
Tells him he has to go see his dad, which is where Aquaman starts.
Exactly. The show then goes ahead to tease the rest of the future of the DCEU by...
Most importantly, Ryan Choi, head of nanotechnology. He gets a Kryptonian ship. This is big.
Exactly. Big news right here. And then we go to the Justice League, the new headquarters in the building, one of the Wayne Manor wings or something like that.
Alfred, Bruce, and Diana.
So we'll put a big round table right in the middle there. Six chairs, but room for more. Well, I'm glad there's going to be another movie, so this is going to be
it's confirmed that the Snyderverse is after this,
restored.
of course. Yeah, it's been restored.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
Barry then tells his dad that I'm in prison. I've got a proper job. It's actually the worst job I could get in a crime lab, but...
My foot's in the door.
And he's like... This is a job, right?
I love his dad.
Yeah, he's so dad-like, right?
He's so excited, and he turns around, he's like, he's got his foot in the door. My son, I told him nothing he knows.
I'm a scumbag. He's doing better than me, though. Yeah. Look at that.
It's brilliant. I love his dad's reaction to it. So good.
Clark then thanks Bruce for getting the Kent farm back. Yeah. It's all moving back in, and also they're doing some extra work and whatnot and stuff like that.
How'd you get the house back from the bank? I bought the bank.
He just smiles at him.
I love how no one is sure because the way Bruce delivers it, if that's a joke or not.
Yeah.
But it also might not be a joke.
It's like, well, I bought the bank. It's like...
It just smiles, isn't it?
Okay, let's just go right there.
Because it could be a joke.
It could be.
It could not be a joke.
And then as they're walking in, Bruce says something here.
Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, by the way. For what?
Now,
the ring, the engagement?
Could be the engagement. Could be the engagement.
For coming back to life.
What would be really funny is if Bruce has been keeping tabs on Lois and sees her credit card statements and know what she bought at Boots.
So hold on a second. Vitamin tablets. Oh my... These are pregnancy hormones.
She
hasn't bought a tampon in months.
Breast pump.
What's this all about?
Congratulations, some kinky stuff.
This is really weird. And then one final scene we get with Cyborg. He goes back to his grave.
Yes.
But at this time, he's got a giant smile on his face. Yeah. And he takes off his hoodie and he takes off his...
Is it his grave? I thought it was his mum and his dad's grave.
Oh, sorry, his mum and his dad's grave. That's what
but
it is.
Either one.
He's probably on the side, I think, somewhere.
Probably.
Anyway, it's there. And he takes off his hoodie and he takes off his jogger bottoms. And he's smiling. He's proud of who he is.
Yeah. He's Victor Stone.
Exactly.
Which he wasn't before.
Takes off into the sky with the most biggest smile. He's him. He's happy. And then we saw Batman. He's back to fighting crime. However, he seems to have tied up 6 people, and he has the world's giant tank ever to try. I don't know how he got that there.
That's it. Not really sure. We'll let it go.
The Batmobile you can drive down the road. That you're not driving past anyone.
It's something, is what it is.
It's like he's a shadow in the night. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, where is he? I can't see it.
That's very fun.
And then we get one final scene with the Flash as well. He's doing his run. He's the happiest guy in the world.
He's running in Central City. Yeah.
He's running just the biggest smile on his face.
And then Isla's back.
Yes,
we're back in we're in Arkham Asylum.
Yes,
Luthor.
Not Luther. Luthor.
Oh yeah,
they picked a guy for a speaking role that can't speak.
Do you know what? I actually think it's the microphone that the tannoy system. I think it's tannoy because I'm pretty sure I've seen that guy in something else, and because I recognize his face. Could be from this.
Just before that, we do have one shot as well, which some people have an issue with. Clark's final shot to show that he's back in the world. He's in Metropolis. He's got his jacket and like that, and he hears something. Goes into an alleyway,
all of this.
Rips open the shirt,
and here we are.
And it's the black suit underneath.
Yeah,
I like the look of the black suit.
I love
Nothing
the black
wrong
suit.
with that. But the thing is that he's no longer in the healing phase of anything.
Apparently, he wasn't before either. But I love the black suit.
He should have been back to normal.
Love the black suit. I'm okay with it, but Superman wears the blue and red. That's what I would have liked to have seen, but it's okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's one fucking.
It also doesn't make sense that he's like dressed like a reporter from the 1930s when it's not like he's going back to the Daily Planet.
I was going to say,
we have to address this.
Even when he's not going to go back. He's dead. There's no way you can explain that. And second of all, when he was working at the Daily Planet, again, he wasn't dressed like this.
Right.
So what is his new job?
It's
I'm a reporter at the other planet.
It's kind of odd. Then we're at Arkham Asylum. Yes. The guard calls Luthor to leave his cell. A few times he doesn't, and he's like, right, okay, I'll come and give you a bad day then.
Exactly.
Walks into the cell.
However, did you notice that his head was very smooth on the shots leading up to it?
Yes, I did notice this.
And then at the last minute, he's about to turn Luthor around. Suddenly he's got a wrinkly head.
Yes.
Turns around and the guy's laughing his ass off.
Yeah. But it's not Lex.
It's not Lex.
The guy runs, smashes the alarm.
And
then off the coast of somewhere, paying on some super yacht.
The sickest yacht ever.
Why did nobody take Luthor's fortune?
They're just like, we'll leave his accounts unfrozen. It's totally fine.
It's fine. We see a boat.
Yes,
speeding up towards the jet. I love the what's that? The headband flapping in the wind. The flap off the swords and stuff.
Yeah,
and then Deathstroke gets up onto the yacht, walks up. Man, he looks good.
And then he gets up there, and it's like, oh yes, there you are, and has the whole scene. He takes off his thing, and obviously it's Joe Manganiello.
What a ledge!
The most gorgeous man in the world, the coolest guy in the world.
What a ledge!
As the coolest character,
literal foot, an actual leg end.
He's a leg end. That's what he is right there.
And basically, he says, Lex says, would you like some of this ridiculous expensive champagne, which I can't even pronounce?
Yes.
I thought you had something that you said you would take out the Batman pro bono. Why the free work? I have something that might help you. His name's Bruce Wayne. Name drop, Lex. Jeez.
Jesus, bruv. We have an understanding amongst villains and heroes. We don't do that. We just go after each other.
Exactly.
God damn it.
And then I love that. Well, in fact, I will have some of that champagne. We have something to celebrate.
Champagne. Like that.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the nightmare scene.
Yes. You
see parademons flying around. And they're looking for something. Then they fly past, a ship goes by.
Yeah, Batman
pops out.
Clear.
One thing you notice here, he's got a very standard weapon. Yep. Nothing super visible on it. Nothing like that. It's just like a MP5 and nothing distinguishable on it. Very key, and I'll explain why I said that in a second. Cyborg is there.
Comes out.
The Flash.
Mirror.
Deathstroke.
Also, Mirror has Atlan's trident. I don't know if you noticed that. Which is important.
The Atlan trident right there.
Deathstroke. Barry.
And they were like... Yes. They were like, we can't stay out in the open for too long because he'll find us. Who's he? Darkseid? Because they're in the...
Yeah.
So clearly got to be Darkseid.
Got to be Darkseid. That's the only terrifying person that could be in this nightmare scene. Yeah, for sure.
And they have a little moment with Mirror. Mirror says that something happened to Arthur and whatnot. I'll kill him for what happened to Arthur.
Impeccable accent.
I'll kill him for what happened to Arthur.
Also, if Arthur couldn't do it,
why are you going to do it?
Also, I don't know if you know.
He's the king of the sea.
One good touch, she's carrying a bunch of water with her.
Yes.
Which is a nice touch because not only do people need water, but a fish lady needs a lot more water.
In this desert of a fucking wasteland that they're in right now. Anyway, I was like, what's that? And then Bruce says, she says to Bruce, what have you ever lost before? And then you go,
oh my God. So look, I know a lot of people didn't like the Jared Leto Joker. I have actually been defending it for a long time. I think it doesn't matter. I actually didn't mind it too much. I especially don't mind it where I chose to believe it was Jason Todd.
Yeah.
He says some cryptic stuff here. It could still be Jason Todd, except that he says, why would you send a boy wonder to do a man's job?
Yeah,
that makes me think, well, he killed Dick. But there's still enough there for my hope, and it's never answered. But I also don't mind this Joker too much.
I was going to say, even if you take that part out of it, this is still one of the best Batman and Joker interactions ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually would say this is the best. I think Heath Ledger is the best Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he got a lot more time. Yeah. It was very well thought out.
But their interactions aren't that great.
They're not actually
okay.
very good. I think Joker's interactions with the gangsters are the highlight of the movie.
I was going to say, Joker is the one that you're loving in that movie. Batman, not so much.
I actually quite like he's okay, the Jared Leto Joker. Yeah. Their interactions are brilliant.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
When he says that to Mira, it's like, I know someone who's lost, and Mira goes, who have you ever lost before? Joker then breaks down.
He knows loss.
Oh, he knows my little fish stick.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. Is it because you smell something on her, or is it because she's a fisherman? That's really them. Anyway, he goes, a mother.
The loss of a mother.
A father.
An adopted son. No, he says, you better be real careful about what you say. And then he says an adopted son. He goes, that wasn't careful.
Wasn't very careful. And he's got like the voice, deep voice in this one right here. He goes, that wasn't very careful. It's an incredible scene. And he basically, they're exchanging back and forth. They're like, how one person needs each other. Yeah. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to kill me? You need me, Bruce. I'm your only friend.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll tell you what. I propose a truce. For as long as you have this card...
no, I propose a truce, Bruce.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You just hate the puns.
Yeah, it also says, like, who's going to give you a reach around as well? It's anyway, he goes, I propose a truce. For as long as you have this card, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'll go with any plan that you have. But all you need to do, if you ever want to let go of this truth...
is tear up the card.
Tear up the card.
And we'll discuss... No, it says tear it in half and we'll discuss in any way you like why you sent a boy wonder to do a man's job. And then you see, because you're getting a better view of him, the back, it's a SWAT vest. It says SWAT on the back. It's bulletproof. All these stars of like sheriffs or cops or something, right? We don't exactly know how things progressed.
Did he take them? Did he kill them all and take them?
Were they corrupt? Like they could have been corrupt working for Darkseid and he's killed them and their trophies. We don't know. We also don't know what the vibe is with this Joker, because in Suicide Squad we see him die, but Joker in various versions actually is immortal.
Yeah.
And he's like the Ripper. Who's that? Jack the Ripper.
Okay, Jack the
like
Ripper.
He's immortal. He's lived for a very long time. And he's like this kind of Loki serial killer type figure, or not. It could just be a freaky guy like Heath Ledger's one was. Like we don't know.
Yeah. He lays out as well that basically hints that the reason for this all happening was because Bruce caused Lois Lane to die.
Yeah.
And Lois was the reason, was the key to everything, was the thing that could have stopped it all.
He also says this line about, I wonder how many alternate universes or timelines have burned because you didn't have the courage to die yourself.
Yes.
Which
fucking great line.
So good, right?
Think about it. It's like, could there have been?
Because Bruce has courage.
Yes.
Bruce will put himself in situations and stuff like, but what he's talking about is slightly different.
Yeah.
And you're like, but we've seen him do it. But what you're talking about isn't putting himself in danger. It's dying, which is
it's
conundrum, right?
Yeah.
And then he brings up interesting you talk about death. When Harley Quinn was dying in my arms, she asked me to promise that when I kill you, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. That it be slow and painful, or something like that. Mate, this is the best Batman Joker interaction, by a long way. Yes. With the best Batman, and at worst, in my opinion, a very good Joker. I actually think he's good.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. But this interaction was flawless.
So good.
It's great.
So good.
And then he takes the card out of his hand. And there's this moment of like, you can tell Joker's been shook to his very core.
Yeah.
It's like,
his hand shaking, and then you nearly got me there. Does he call him Bruce? I forget.
I'm not sure.
In there, but it's a great scene.
Interesting thing here in Batman vs Superman, they have the one nightmare scene, the dream that Bruce has.
Yeah.
When he comes out of the compound where he's about to get the Kryptonian rock, if you go back and watch the movie, on his MP5 he has a duct taped Joker card.
Oh really? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Which then means that happens in the future, so they must survive this next thing that happens in their fucking.
Or it's a different timeline, because it
could be different timeline. I choose to believe they're the same because there's so many connecting dots
for sure,
and
for
whatnot.
Sure. I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch that. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit tempted to go back and see if there's an extended cut for Suicide Squad, because I want to watch more and see more of the Joker, because this is the Joker that we get in this, and even if nothing else happens from it, which I choose to believe won't happen.
I don't think it's even going to have anything, because there's even talks of the Aya cut of Suicide Squad, which even Suicide Squad got changed to a fucking oblivion and whatnot. So you're probably not even going to get any meaningful information.
But I bet it would be better. But I just want to experience that Joker again and see if I can pick anything up about the stylistic choices they've made for him.
That's cool.
Like, I do think they're going with the Joker having some sort of healing or immortality power because he crashes in a freaking helicopter, and at the end of that they said we couldn't find him, but there's no way a normal person survives. Even Bruce probably wouldn't have survived that.
I can't remember what happens at the end of that movie. I tried to block it out. And then after that moment, he's found us. And at this moment, I don't know if you remember exactly how these camera scenes go. Here's Doom, smack on the ground. Batman doesn't turn round for a good few seconds.
He doesn't. There's some cool stuff that happens in this scene. Like, Vic pulls off his cape and he's got one of his arms is holding a Gatling gun and the other one's holding the ammo can.
Yeah.
Flash has this awesome armor and this helmet drops down.
Yeah.
Which looks so sick.
Very Iron Man-ish.
Very Iron Man. Mira pulls out the staff of the trident of Atlan.
Yeah.
And then Bruce turns around.
Yes.
And 3-point landing. Stands up. Clark. Red eyes.
Oh god! And he's just about to fire. Wake up from the dream.
Yeah.
Bruce is at his cool lakeside glass home.
I will say, by the way, because I assumed this was a different timeline, and his hair looks very different in that scene, Clark's.
Okay.
I thought this was going to be the kid.
Oh.
I thought this was going to be that Lois died and the kid comes to take revenge. So it's it's an alternate timeline, but ultimately there's a Superman after you, but it wasn't.
Okay, all right.
Anyway,
yes, he wakes up and he hears also
another.
It's got to be fucking scary after you just had that fucking.
And he's like, okay, goes outside, just walking around his awesome thing. The DB5 in the background just comes out and up above, coming down.
A figure floating down.
I love.
And it's Martian Manhunter.
I love at this point Bruce has spent so much time with aliens in essence.
Superpower beings, aliens, all kinds of shit.
Clark's an alien from Krypton. Wonder Woman may as well be an alien. She's like the offspring of the old gods. Barry can reverse time. Cyborg is mostly metal.
Green guy pops down from the sky. Don't bat an eyelid.
Sup,
man? What you want? You need something? You need a suit?
Right.
I've got a lot of money. You need something?
Yeah.
You need a loan?
And he basically lays out that, just like you, I've decided that I'll make a stand on this planet.
So I have a stake in this world.
I have a stake in this world, that's right.
Which is great he says that, because all this time I'm like, so where the hell were you?
Where was the backup blood? So I think the reason that he hasn't come out is because Bruce, gathering everyone, uniting them for the cause is relatively recent, and now that he's seen that that's happened and the world is uniting in that sense, that he'll come forward now. Because I forget, but I think Martian Manhunter may be on the run or was on the run at one point from the white Martians, because he's a green Martian, something like that.
Not sure.
Anywho,
yes.
He basically says, I've been on this planet for a long time, and they call me the Martian Manhunter, and I'll be in touch. And then he flies off. I do have one beef. Don't know if you noticed this.
Go on.
No reflection in the lake.
There wasn't my one.
What?
100%. I remember looking at that. I was like, I wonder how they did that, because I'm like, my cinema mind. I'm like, so did they get a CG reflection? Do they
my
make
one,
the lake?
Martian Manhunter just flies off and there's no.
No, my one there was so strange.
I'm gonna go back and watch it and see. I hope I was wrong, but I looked at it and went, maybe it's the camera angle and it wouldn't.
He's a vampire.
Oh god. Hey, you want some garlic? Nope, not for me.
Do you know what? I had some garlic bread earlier because I'm a big garlic eater. And I like wooden steaks and silver as well. I love all that
These
stuff.
are a few of my favorite things.
Super not suspicious, guys. And then it slowly goes off and it ends for autumn. Is our daughter.
So,
and that's where the movie ends, ladies and gentlemen. God, what? Think about it as having our heart broken all those years ago, 2017 was it when the movie came out, enduring all of that pain of everyone's ridicule, knowing that there was a real version out there, a real cinematic version.
Then
that was
Endgame comes out in 2019.
Suppressed us. Endgame comes out after being suppressed of all this greatness. And then hearing rumblings that maybe they're considering doing it, getting that announcement in the Man of Steel watch-along party with Henry Cavill and things like that.
We had been calling for this before it was a meme, by the way. We'd been saying it for ages. We've been saying that Justice League isn't legit. That like it was close, but like they missed all the point of all of the characters. We've been saying it mainly because it hurt us more. Everybody was disappointed. We were hurt by it because we really loved this stuff.
And then to bring it all to this day.
Yeah.
How do you feel, and what is your rating out of how many Superman symbols out of, for you, Batman symbols?
How many Batarangs out of 10?
How many Batarangs out of 10 would you give it?
So, how do I feel? Really sad, because there is still the strong possibility that the Snyderverse does not continue, which would be just an entertainment tragedy.
Yes.
And I really hope that the suits check the numbers and find out how many times it's been pirated even. Because, man, is this so much better. Like, oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my Superman, is this better. 11 to 12 Batarangs out of 10.
Yeah.
It is, if not my favourite superhero movie of all time, it's in the top 3.
Yeah.
I haven't really figured out what my top 3 is. Like, I haven't really sat down to think about it, but it's up there, man. It might be this. It's so good. And it's not to say things like Endgame and Infinity War, which, by the way, are one movie split into 2 parts. It's not saying that isn't good, but man, did I love this.
Yeah.
Man, did I love this. And also, so I feel like it's okay to say this because the hype is, I left it a good thing. Like, I watched it with hype, and then I've watched it now in the, like, post-nut clarity.
Yeah.
And it is still really good. Going from like the abortion that was the first one to this, like how much justice the characters were done, how well it was done, oh man, I love it. I loved it. I loved it. It's brilliant.
Speaking of the Infinity War and Endgame, after this came out, there was someone asked the Russo brothers if they're willing to ever do like a single version of their movie and whatnot, because it's only because that people won't sit through a 6-hour movie, they thought anyway, is that it's been split up into 2 parts. And he was like, we'd definitely be open to making a 6-hour version of Infinity War, Endgame, whatever.
Well, combine them plus the extended cut.
Exactly.
I mean, but there were people that watched the extended Lord of the...
Yeah, I'm just terrible people. For me, easily, like you said, 12, 13, let's give it 20 Superman symbols out of 10.
So mine was like 10 or 11 to the power of 10 or 11.
Exactly.
Batarangs,
Exactly. That's about the same for me. I think Superman symbols there. I love this movie for 2 reasons. One, it is actually a really, really, really good comic book superhero movie.
Yeah.
Every character is done justice.
Yep.
We know... previous to this, I did not care about Cyborg that much, although I knew about Cyborg as a character.
Yeah.
I knew about Barry Allen and Flash, but I didn't care about him in the DCEU.
Totally agree.
But in this, they were done such justice. Again, sorry for saying that so many times. Done perfectly. They set them up nicely in the 4 hours that they had to set up the whole story and the characters.
Everybody got a full character arc.
Exactly.
Cyborg got an entire character arc.
Exactly. We now love each one of these characters. We have an investment in all of them and the way they triumph and everything they go through and how each one is critical, meaningful. I loved it for that reason. But also, I loved it because of what this movie represents. That us, DC fans, comic book fans, won.
Yeah, we were right.
We won the war against the suits to get...
Yes, we did.
This great movie.
Yes, we did.
To have our justice.
Yes, we did. I'd say you undersold it, to be honest.
Yeah.
They actually showed us Superman for once.
True.
I would argue even in Batman vs Superman, we don't get Superman.
And they do him like really properly.
Yeah,
right?
we get to see Clark Kent properly. He makes sense. It's good. Bruce is saved and is Batman again. Like it's all done well. We have 2 good villains. How about having a good villain? Steppenwolf makes sense. Steppenwolf gets a character arc.
Yeah.
Right? We know all about him. And Darkseid, there's that line where this world is unprotected, no Guardians, no Lantern, no Kryptonian. You said, man, it makes you feel like really naked and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then what's coming? Darkseid. I don't know who would win in a fight, Darkseid or Thanos, for example, right? Forget like the power levels. I'm afraid of Darkseid in a way that I'm not of Thanos.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanos seems like a big, strong guy that's very smart. However, I feel like Darkseid is equally smart, big and strong, and also has a ton of superpowers as well.
Let's say Thanos is stronger, right?
And he's also a lot more evil.
Yeah, he's more sinister. Like, for example, take a serial killer and like Muhammad Ali. Who would you rather fight? Not Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And who would win in a fight? Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Who are you more afraid? I'm not afraid of Muhammad Ali, but I would be afraid of a serial killer.
Yeah.
And I get that same vibe from Darkseid. Like I don't know, man. He's sinister in a way that Thanos wasn't, or it did maybe.
Thanos. The good thing about Thanos was that it's almost understood his reasoning, and it was almost like for the good, for the greater good.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Thanos is a good villain. I'm not saying he's not at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Darkseid is sinister in a way Thanos wasn't.
That's the thing. It was a good villain, whereas this is like an evil villain. There's something different about that.
And also, he's not evil just to kill things and stuff. He wants power. That's his goal. He's not evil because I'm evil. He's evil because he wants power and
power hungry on a galactic scale,
on a multi-galactic, multi-universal scale.
Exactly. So, guys, that is our review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Thank you for joining us for that. We have a couple of comments from our great bros, our born-again Snyder fans, I'm going to call them. Because a lot of these guys were all like, the Snyder Cut's going to suck because they followed James and Tyler, and now they look stupid.
You're wrong. We were right. Get fricked.
Zack Snyder's son, Batfan, writes into patreon.com/conversations, just like you guys can for a little $1 a month. And he says, So here's my brief summary of the movie. This version was far superior. The music was amazing. Wonder Woman's action scenes were incredible. The Zack Snyder cut done a brilliant job of setting up each of the characters' arcs and paying them off, such as Cyborg's internal conflict and depression about who he is, only to finally embrace him becoming a hero. There was so much heart and well fleshed out characters: Steppenwolf, Flash, Batman, etc. My God, I'm not impressed scene made me cream pie.
Oh God, yeah.
Imagine what it did for me. The negatives are overused slow motion. I don't think it was overused, but there was a lot.
There was a lot.
10% of the movie, apparently.
Yeah.
Which at moments felt a little bit awkward. For example, the slow-mo scene with Wonder Woman in the air with the bomb. Where she throws it up in the end.
I didn't
focus too much on it.
I also thought that was one of the weaker scenes in the whole movie.
You did say that, you did. Mira's accent really took me out of the movie.
A little bit rough.
Mira in general.
Yep.
But all in all, brilliant film right there. Do you happen to have... You don't have Patreon open, do you?
Not Patreon.
Let me read these ones.
I'll take the Discord,
Adam Sunling writes in, the definitive best version of Justice League we've ever seen on screen. Yeah. Acting was great all around. Yeah. I like the focus on Green Arrow. Oh wait, I decided to watch Justice League Ultimate. You son of a bitch! You got us here. I decided to watch Justice League Ultimate. The actual best version of the Justice League of America we've ever seen. Instead of watching the Snyder Cut, he says. My actual thoughts. I went into the mindset of this movie as it can't possibly be worse than Whedon's cut, and I was right.
Yes, very right there, yeah. Also,
it's too freaking long. Adam, what are you doing to us?
Oh, calm down.
You used to be my boy, and now you're not. And it's way too much slow motion, and the Green Lantern on Themyscira was terrible. Well, that was a cool little thing there.
That was a nice little touch.
Me. And it hurts me as someone who's a big fan of the Lantern mythos in DC. Look,
look, it wasn't Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. We admit it wasn't that good. Yeah, obviously, that's better than Justice League.
The best, but
it's the best superhero movie. That's why I said Justice League's in my top 3.
Exactly.
Obviously, Green Lantern has to go above it. And then I would maybe argue like Wolverine, X-Men Origins, also Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly.
As his most famous role.
Exactly.
With...
Anyway, guys. Also, why does Steppenwolf have the exact same conversation with Darkseid twice? Does he?
He definitely doesn't.
I don't think he does. And last but not least, not enough Jesus imagery. Do you know what, Adam? You're being banned. I'm banning you. I'm sorry. You can't diss Superman in that last line as well.
I don't have any problems with you banning Adam.
Yes, let's do that. Go on. Sorry, mate. You're out of here. We still accept your Patreon support, though. Don't worry about it. Real Comment Cinema, very short one. He says, great film, true cinema as its best. My favourite scene was when Superman beat the shit out of Steppenwolf and made him his bitch.
He beat the fuck out of the guy.
It was a beatdown.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. It was just straight savagery. I just want to find out who this person is. Oh God. It's the Smokeless Fire one, but I don't know who the person is.
It's going to be Adam.
Well, Adam just left a comment, so it has to be someone else.
Dave Bindis.
I think it might be Dave Bindis, you know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think
that would be my guess.
Bindis.
That would be my guess.
Anyway, he goes, I am fully converted. I absolutely love this film. After 3 watches, I have now decided that this has to be my favorite comic book movie of all time.
Logan's up there for me, I gotta say it.
It is up there, yeah. And very different movies, but
very
cool.
different, yeah, very different.
It does everything right for me. The pacing is perfect. Never did I get bored to think about how much longer is left. The characters all have incredible moments and individual arcs. My personal favorites were Barry's and Victor's. I couldn't care less about Cyborg before this movie, but now is the character I'm dying to see more from.
He's a great character.
Unfortunately, we won't.
We won't get Ray, but...
even though it won't come. The same goes for Barry. Hated Ezra Miller's portrayal before this, and now it's probably my favorite. All the Flash moments were so perfect for me, especially Barry saving Iris scene. I teared up every time. The music, characterization of Barry, and the shots are all just perfect.
Barry's got some of the best scenes in the movie.
Both Barry
involved in them, yeah.
Exactly. The same goes for, and it's such a weird contrast going from this weird comic relief character that's like pervy and stuff like that to this cool thing over here.
Yeah.
The same goes for the end when he starts to turn everything back. I absolutely loved it. I loved when he was speaking to his father and telling him he was one of the best, best of the best, he says. That line got me. You probably can tell I'm a huge Flash fan, hey? Yeah, we know. And he says, there was so much to pay off in this film, but also a lot of setup, which is a shame if we don't restore the Snyderverse.
We really need to.
We really do.
It's got to happen.
And then one final line. There's so much I want to talk about, but can't really put it into one comment, so I'll just leave it with that. Honestly, this movie was a masterpiece, a solid 10 out of 10.
A little bit low on the rating.
A little bit low, but we'll forgive you for that this time. At least you did better than Adam Sandling, though. That's an awful one. Thank you so much for writing in, bro. You're a legend.
Shall I take the comments over on the Discord?
Go on then.
Which will be linked in the description below.
Yes, please do.
Diogo says, hate to say it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought this was going to be like the ultimate cut, just slightly better, but still has the same flaws, but I was wrong. Go away, notification. Frick's sake. This is miles better, and the 4 hours went through like a breeze.
I'm telling you, a born-again Snyder fan. Another one, guys.
Everyone was done incredibly better, especially Flash and Cyborg, which I now love this interpretation of them. That final fight, the music, Superman returning with his dad's speeches, both his father's speeches. The Flash time traveling is just so sick. The flow of the story was much better with how the reveals are laid out. I could not agree more. It's so well done.
Yes.
I only really dislike 2 things. One, Martian Manhunter ruined the Martha Lois scene. He doesn't even know Clark. He hasn't fought for the planet. He's a general who went against Zod and saw Doomsday. It didn't work for me.
He just didn't do anything up until that point, right? So
I feel that I was more taken with, we're finally getting Martian Manhunter, which I've been saying since 2017. And 2, Superman should have had his red-blue suit in his final scene to symbolize how he's properly changed. Instead, Snyder wanted him in the black suit until Lois dies.
Because that's what happens in the Nightmare universe, isn't it?
It's a shame we'll probably never get to see this universe again, because I'd be down to see more of it. Batman vs. Superman is just a weird roadmap in this trilogy, but MOS and Justice League, Man of Steel and Justice League are phenomenal. Zack does either need to change medium to tell these longer stories, or learn to make a movie short and concise, because this 4-hour run wouldn't have worked in 2017. Maybe 3 hours could have.
I don't know, man. I mean, then it comes into the question of, do you sacrifice creative vision?
Should have been 2 parts if it was going to be.
That could be another one. Although, fucking hell, do you know what? I don't think I could wait. It
could have been 2 parts released like a month apart.
Yeah.
Part 1, part 2.
If you're going to do that, that'd be great. That'd be great. But
to give everybody time to where's it going to go? Has everybody seen it? Then part 2 comes out, right?
I would like it if it's not at this point yet, but I would like if he was to become like a Kojima, where it's like Kojima can make anything and people will buy it, and it'll be weird
because it's Kojima,
but it's Kojima,
And
if it was to be like it's Zack Snyder, it's going to be long. But it's
Zack Snyder.
So just do that. Do you want me to tandem or do you want to do it as well?
I can bang these out because you did all the Patreon. T says, the soundtrack was amazing, especially the Flashes. Totally agree. There's a lot of beautiful shots in this movie, like Lois going to the memorial and that Superman flag shot in the bridge. Steppy Steppy action scene was cool.
Good old Steppy.
Doing a superhero landing in his armor moves gave me chills.
When he arrived at Themyscira, when he jumps down, it's like smack, and then his armor sort of like.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
That's great.
Steppy talking to Darkseid was cool. I love their voices. I could listen to them talk all day. Steppenwolf saying he betrayed Darkseid by killing those who wanted to betray him. Then Darkseid said he still owes him 50,000 worlds. Like, how does that work? How did he kill 50,000 people or what? Like Green Lantern.
I think he stopped the death of 50,000 worlds, or he hindered them and whatnot. That's why he owes him that much.
So I took it to be he starts the betrayal of Darkseid, decides that he's going to back Darkseid, kills his own family who's leading the revolt, but as penance, he owes 50,000 worlds.
Oh, okay.
To make up for it. Like, you owe me this debt. Yeah. Once you've paid that off, that's enough to prove your loyalty. That's how I took it. The little Green Lantern cameo, the ring staying near Uxas.
That's Darkseid's name before he kills his mother and gets his brother killed. Then he takes on the name Darkseid.
As if it was going to choose him as Green Lantern, then quickly left was interesting. I think it's because it respects will. Darkseid is a force of will.
I saw a picture of someone editing Darkseid, but in the green suit, and I was like, we was this close away from this universe, and everyone's fucking dead.
Nah, that's bad.
That's bad news. Bad news.
That's real bad. because although the ring chooses people, it will obey the strongest will around it. Like Batman takes the ring from
Hal
Jordan a few times. He can, and if he's touching a lantern, he can use it because his will's stronger than just about anyone else.
Yeah.
So that would have been bad.
That would have been bad.
The scene where Cyborg learns how to use his abilities was good, like flying and hacking the bank account of the poor woman and the child, and walks away and two people look at him weirdly and he covers his face to protect this. Is the perfect Cyborg moment. Then Bruce waiting for Barry in the chair. Also, the scene reminded me of Tony talking to Peter. Yeah, I feel that. There's the whole Amber going down on Steppy's scene, but we won't talk about that.
Amber going down on Steppy?
Oh, because she sucks the water out of him.
Oh, I see. All right. I mean, and the Steppy thing's getting to it.
My favorite scenes were Flash reversing time. Freaking agree. I love that. It was so visually pleasing. And the Gordon scene where the way Batman was on the gargoyle and everyone was there. It was so cool. Also, Superman kicking ass was amazing. And the parademon that shot Barry while he was running fast deserved a better death.
Well,
I forget what happened.
I was like, Superman kicking ass. Parachute. Oh, the parademon that shot Barry Allen when running fast. The one at the top of the tower.
I think Batman just comes out and ices him.
Canes him. They deserved a better death.
The part where Steppenwolf and Darkseid were talking about the ALE,
anti-life equation.
That's it. Was good. Was good. Made me confused at first because I thought they knew it was the same planet where they got destroyed, but they mentioned the multiverse, so that surprised me and made more sense. That there were more Earths, but didn't know which one has the anti-life equation written on it. Darkseid was terrifying and amazing. I got chills and hyped the second I saw all the parademons go on their knees. Yeah, because there's the portal, right? Before the portal, they drop, and then the portal appears.
It's so strange because it's like they can sense Darkseid is coming. It's like
like animals flee before some sort, like they know
an earthquake. They're like
they
and
know.
They're like, what happened to the dog? Oh shit!
The Clark and Lois scenes were some of the best. The way he talks, like he's remembered some parts, but he isn't really all there yet. I enjoyed the movie. There, are you happy? Yes.
So happy. So happy. There we go.
Do you want to hit the last one?
Yeah, Anti-Juice writes in with the final comment, and he says, this film is cinema. Steppenwolf is an actual character you can feel sorry for, and his CGI is perfect. It really was really good, wasn't it?
So much better than some other imaginings of this villain. I mean, luckily this is the only one that ever got made.
Only one. We've now deleted the other one.
Yes.
I burnt the other one from my life.
You did.
So there we go, right there. Perfect. Cyborg definitely benefits from the most of from Zack's version, as he is given a lot of time to shine. Ray Fisher plays him beautifully and showcases a very large array of emotions. The score is great, especially when there are callbacks to Man of Steel, and the Speed Force is a banger of a track.
Yep.
One of the only problems is when Martha speaks to Lois. I wish that Martha was actually Martha because the dialogue is great. it is an issue because it's not her, but then acts so much like her.
Yeah.
I can get you impersonating people, but you don't have the same memories and same emotions.
Yeah.
It's a bit, but it's misdirection. That's what it's supposed to be.
It is misdirection. It's you just got to overlook it. It's just the point is to introduce Martian Manhunter, not anything else. Even though it's a really beautiful scene with Lois.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Martian Manhunter being revealed, but I feel like it could have been done elsewhere. Superman's resurrection is great, and the Vision Cyborg was wild. Everything in the Kent farm was great. The final battle was cool, and obviously the Flash time scene was incredible. Yeah. And the fact that WB didn't want it in the movie shows how incompetent they are. Also, Darkseid's voice and the dialogue throughout is perfect. Also, the epilogue is great, and the nightmare scene was interesting, and Jared did a good job. Overall, what a great film. I would love an extended cut. So would we. It's so... Like, 10 hours. Just go for it, guys.
Easy peasy.
Easy. But more so, I want Ben's The Batman, Cyborg movie, Martian Manhunter spin-off, Atom spin-off, Justice League 2, Justice League 3, #Restore the Snyderverse.
There's a bunch of other movies that need to be made. Yes. Where's Flash's movie or 2?
Yes.
Where's Aquaman 2's coming, but like...
It's not going to be the same vision. That's the thing. It's out of the Snyder universe.
That's exactly it.
The next Man of Steel movie.
Man of Steel, we need 2 Cyborg movies. Batman, actually, Batfleck needs a movie or 2 on his own. BVS is kind of a Batman, kind of a suit. Like, it's not... You're never really sure. Like, we actually need a Batman movie. So...
That, guys, is... the end of our review.
Yes, that is it.
It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, you've pumped like 25 hours into this thing.
I've been really dedicated to this thing. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us for this passion project that we've got right here. We really do love the Justice League. We really love DC, and it's been great to nerd out and talk about it with you.
It has. It's been great to watch this movie and these characters be done justice. Sorry, I can't think of a better word, to be done properly and shown as they should be on the big screen. Yeah. Look, boys, we won the battle.
Yes.
But the war is not over. We need to restore the Snyderverse, because if you've seen this movie, you know the potential that lies in this timeline, in this vision, and we really should not just go to sleep because we got the one movie.
Exactly.
We need to do what we did for the Snyder Cut, except that was only us. It was just the fans doing it. Now all the people that have been converted that didn't believe before have seen it. We should know now that this is the timeline for movies that we want to see.
It was a platoon before, but now it's the entire armada.
Exactly.
Do it. We must use the old ways.
That's right.
Use the hashtags, get online, let WB know. And I hope when we get those numbers, if we get those numbers,
fingers crossed,
it just proves that this is something that we need.
I really hope they see this and they go, wait, this is rivaling Wonder Woman. This is rivaling Endgame. Yeah, maybe we
reconsider.
Yeah.
And most of all, I hope Zack Snyder actually wants to do it, and I hope he isn't too burnt by what happened to him.
Fingers crossed.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Streamcast. We will catch you guys all in the next one, and bro, I'll catch you in the next one as well. Super punch. Not impressed.